Yeah, Blackbird Podcast mug, but not today.
So how have you been? Good?
I've been good, yeah. What have I been doing? I've been doing a lot of things that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing actually. I'm doing a lot of I'm trying to not plan shit. Even though I know I need kind of a plan on a lot of things, like a long term, very loose, broad strokes kind of a plan.
Oh, but you're going on holidays though, so that's...
See, I'm already on holidays in my head with the last fucking month because it's been the year has it's flown on one stage, but on another stage, and you're like, fucking hell, man, I'm wrecked.
Yeah.
So it's and the world. I said it. I was watching. I don't know what I was doing. I was going through my fucking channel, just fucking reorganizing things, and I saw a clip of a thing in January, Christmassy time, and just after Christmas. And it was the first week of January, and I was just pointing out some of the fucking squirrely shit that was happening in the world already in the first fucking week. And it kind of, here we are. It's been one fucking Scooby-Doo year, you know?
It's like a roller coaster, sure.
It's like someone's just intensified the crazy.
Mm.
And the fact in that you've, all those institutions that have been laid bare to be just criminal. And the governments that have been, it's just proof abound of them all being criminal. And you're just wondering, whoa, when did this fucking happen? You know what I mean?
Look, there's something happening every single day. And it's something there's stuff happening that it's all controlled and manipulated.
Yeah.
Every single day.
You feel it.
Oh, yeah.
You feel you're being manipulated.
Like Maduro in Venezuela yesterday. Venezuela held elections yesterday.
Yeah.
And going back years ago, Venezuela is the fifth largest producer of oil. They have the fifth largest deposits on Earth of oil. And
so that wasn't a democratic fucking thing, was it?
But the CIA planted Chavez in there in the early 2000s, if not the late 90s, and they thought that he was going to do the job for them, so let in all the big oil companies, so that they could just rape the assets. But he turned rogue on them. He turned nationalist, and he privatized, or he got rid of all the big oil companies, the American oil companies, and he nationalized all the oil. And as soon as he did that, they were they were probably one of the biggest economies, best standards of living in the world at the time. Great, because everything was funded from their own oil.
Yeah.
But the Americans got in and they sanctions. They crippled them. Nobody would buy their oil. And they ousted Chavez, they just painted Chavez as a dictator. Socialism.
Sure, they did that shit in Ukraine before they got the Canadian in. That's how they got him in.
Yeah.
And that's how that journalist got arrested, because he was involved as well.
That was...
the American journalist?
Lira.
Is he a journalist?
Gonzalo Lira. Or who's that?
I forget his name now, but I know he got sentenced this week.
Oh, sentenced?
They were holding him for the last year or so, maybe 2 years even.
There was a guy there, Gonzalo Lira. He was Peruvian but American.
This guy is American.
He's gone missing. He's gone. He was reporting in the Ukraine all the shit that's going on.
But then, we're told, we're only told what they want you to fucking believe. You know what I mean? And it's hard when you're listening to people and you know they're lying to you,
Well, there's only a small percentage of people, very small percentage of people that know that they've been lied to.
Well, yeah.
The rest are just hypnotised.
Well, I was talking to a guy now today, and he was like, I think I had a podcast on, there was some fucking guy going on about Jesus Christ or something. It was just in passing. It's not like I'm listening to religious, not that there'd be anything wrong with it, but I fucking couldn't be listening to that shit. But he was, and your man's like, Jesus, what are you listening to, kind of thing, you know? And I'm like, do you not listen to anything? He goes, fuck no, I get up, I go to work and I do my thing and that's it. And I'm like, why not? Why don't you? Like, what am I going to do with that? What? It's none of my business, kind of a thing. And I'm like, that's bullshit. I said, you're here, you should have a look around. You know, geographically, you don't have to move. Everything is there. So take advantage of it while you can. and just, you know, and enrich your mind. If you enrich your mind, you might fucking have a fuller kind of sense of your everyday. If that's all you get out of it. Mm. Because it is true to say that the more you look around, the more depressed you'll get and the more fucking angst you'll get. And then it's like, you can't do nothing about it. So what the fuck are you bothering for? But at the same time, it's like, you feel obligated to fucking at least try to understand what the fuck is going on. So you can, I don't know, maneuver for the betterment of you at some stage. When the shit does hit
what
the
have we
fan.
left? Probably another 30 years of living left. So it's the people it's our kids that are coming up behind us. Yeah. And you want them to be
the only
safe.
way that's going to work is if you turn them into tramps.
Well, I was thinking about it today. I don't want my kids to go to college.
Oh fuck no! Are you crazy?
Yeah.
No way.
And I'm just saying, like, I know, like, I'll say it to their mother, and the head will be bitten off me. Like, what are they going to do in life? Where are they going to earn and all this? But I'm saying, like,
something with their hands as a foundation.
They'll find their way. But if you put in, I'd be afraid if I put my eldest daughter, or if my eldest daughter did go to college, within a year or two,
indoctrinated into some
bullshit. Like, she could come home, she doesn't know if she's
that happens anyway, like, you know what I mean?
Purple hair, no, like, just...
My guys are not going there. And if they are, it's on their own fucking back. But I'll be arguing with them. But I don't see it happening because it's just, even though they're all hands, they want to do shit with their hands all the time. You know what I mean?
Dexterous.
And I'd like them to be able to have, like, if they say they landed somewhere in the world and they say, right, I've only X amount of money on me, I'm going to need an income, that they can walk onto any kind of a job, be it a building site or a fucking factory or whatever. And they'll be able to, like that, just take to it. Mm. I want them to have that capacity. I think I think everyone has that capacity, but it needs to be encouraged because I know a lot of people of a particular age group and they're just fucking not happening. Like, I don't know what, it's like they're...
Well, they've no social skills for a start.
I love that.
Do you know what I mean? You have that. Yeah, they're not able to hold a conversation, which, look at, it's all part of the same thing. But then they're just being guided and directed by media, TV.
Do you think the media is dying, or
they're trying very hard? They're trying very, very hard to hold on to people, to keep them hypnotized. Very hard.
Because there's a lot of redundancies in that division.
Well, that's...
I've been watching the thing there recently, and it's... The big giants of media are letting fucking tons of people go, like.
Yeah.
Tons of people, I would argue, aren't even qualified to be in there in the first place.
Well, look at their stooges. They're all just... They're doing what their master bids them, you know.
There's one or two now who've come about from... we'll say when they were in the job, they were big personalities, and in America, of course, and they were like... They'd have been... natural enemies, I suppose, but between the fucking jigs and the reels, the two of them become unemployed.
Who's this now? Who are you talking about?
I'm going on this little tangent,
right,
to give me time to try to remember the fuckers' names. But nothing's coming. But one worked for CNN.
Right.
His brother was like...
well, is Tucker one of them?
Tucker's one of them,
okay.
Yeah. And the other guy then is... They had a chat themselves only a few months ago. He was for CNN in New York. His brother was was he a senator or something?
Not Cuomo.
Yes, him.
Right.
His brother who worked on CNN.
Yeah, you have James Cuomo.
And he got pure fucking stupid on the COVID bullshit. At the time, you know, he was in they turned it into something like a bad comedy. And that's the news today.
Now, is this... Like, Cuomo was... One of them was the head of the CIA as well. Wasn't there?
Was there?
I thought there was.
Well,
the James.
To me, his older brother looks like
the other guy's
absolute mafia.
Right.
I mean, definitely mafia. He's just got that head in him.
Was he governor of New York?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's pure mafia head in him.
Right. Well, I would...
he's a mafia wannabe at the very least.
I listened to Tucker.
I listen to Tucker because you know why I listen to Tucker? He's not... You get, like, he fumbles through a lot of things, and then it's like he hits a vein of fucking questioning or whatever, because he doesn't have an agenda per se. He has an idea, I suppose. He knows who he's talking to.
He's not scripted. He can write
exactly.
He writes his own script.
That's it. And you can tell he's like, it's like he's reaching. And I can relate to that because when I'm by myself, I'm reaching. I mean, you know what I mean?
What other journalist is going to get invited to the Kremlin to sit down and interview?
That happen, man?
Because I think he's honest.
I do too.
I think Tucker Carlson. Like, there's a lot of them that are, I don't know. Like James, your man, what you call him?
Would you look at this shit?
That's good for you. And the lighter doesn't work.
No, it's not.
You have your man, the long-haired English guy.
Oh, Brand.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a fucking...
Yeah, see, he was in the Nest of the Vipers when he married Katy Perry.
Yes.
So I think he's seen all the bad shit and he came out and he found God because that was the only way he could save his soul.
He was on that road always.
Well, look at fame and fortune.
But it's funny you mention her because I remember watching her. I think it might have been her first album, and she did not look anything like she looks now. She did not sound anything like she does now. You knew she had a powerful voice, a natural talent. But dude, they did a number on her, man. When she came out with the second album, looking like a fucking circus tart.
Well, she sold herself.
That's it. That was 100%. Yeah. I was like, man, that's just...
And that's when Bland... What's his name again?
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand. That's when he was in there. He was with her then.
Sure, he was on MTV. He was doing all kinds of crazy.
He started in England on... Was it Breakfast? What that? Was it on... Was he with Denise Van Outen or
I'm not that familiar.
Or did he do the Crystal Maze or something like that? He was doing these kind of crazy Channel 4 stuff, and then he went off to America, and that was it. He
did a few movies, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of him. I mean,
like, he's out now. He's found God, and he's
got a great vocabulary, but at the same time, sometimes when I'm listening, I feel like I'm watching a game of tennis. And he's talking and he says a whole load of words, but there's fuck all content actually there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that's just verbal masturbation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he can be... I find he gets very fucking... he needs to work on his self-control. Because I saw him having a conversation with a coloured lady. I think she's in the American political system. And... it's like he couldn't... She was beating him on every... She could fucking shoot him down on every point he was making in this particular conversation.
Was it a debate? Was it her?
I thought it was meant to be a conversation, but he started upping the ante and he started getting very energised and very fucking snappy. He lost his cool, I thought. And she just wiped the floor with him. I don't know what his problem was with her in particular, but that woman schooled him. Schooled him, like.
I'd love to see that one.
Ah, man, I'm sure you'll find it. She schooled him.
Right. He's an intelligent bucko.
But see, a lot of people make the mistake that intelligent people are good people. They're not.
No.
They're fucking not. The intelligent people who create all these fucking wonderful, we'll say, chemicals and shit that end up killing tons of people. And they know that's what it's going to be used for. So it's like, intelligent people, there's no guarantee that they're nice people.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know what I mean? Because apparently the cream of the crop are in government. That's a fucking hoot. Because that's the dumbest bunch of people you'll ever meet. And they're sneaky. They're snakes in the grass, I find.
Yeah.
Just everyone's like, but he said and she said. I'm like, but what they did. Look at what they did. You don't have to do that much. Look at what they fucking did. What they've okayed. They're crooks.
Well, it's all there's an agenda from Europe and from the
Europe
WHO.
must be having the longest, slowest debt of any fucking idea that I've ever seen.
They're only getting going.
Europe, they won't last. I'd say 10 years from now, there'll be no Europe. Not as we know it today.
It'll be worse. Europe are they're only another wing of this new world order. They had to bring Europe together because it's the West that they want to control. Yeah. And they want They want us gone.
What do you mean, us?
White Western.
Blue-eyed?
Well, just they're replacing us here now at the minute.
They're trying, anyway.
They're trying to replace us. We're starting to kind of stand up.
But what's the big picture like? What's the destination?
Well, there's a lot of fronts. There's a lot of, like, the destination is the one world government.
What, you think that's not already there?
No.
I think the CIA are running everything.
No, I don't know. We had this conversation earlier, and it's not. The CIA they're all doing their master's bidding as well. Like, Kennedy tried to get rid of the CIA back in the 60s.
That's right,
He was gotten
probably
rid of.
why he got rid of him.
Yeah, so, like, the CIA, where would you go for it? Like, we're just like we're attacked at the minute, right? We're being attacked with climate, which is a hoax. It's a
100% a hoax.
It's a $1.5 trillion hoax.
Yeah.
Okay. There's $5 billion a day being spent on this climate scam.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to see now, COVID is over. So, like, they might bring it back in just for a few warnings, but what they're doing now is they're piling on. The media are piling on climate.
Yeah.
So every day you're hearing something. There's something in the Irish news, and it's like, this is the hottest day we've had ever. And the rain pissing down outside, and we're all waiting to go to the fucking bog, and we can't go to the bog because we can't get into it because it's sopping wet.
Yeah.
And they're telling us that it's one of the hottest days on record. It's all bollocks. So you have that.
Yes.
You have mass migration.
Yes.
You have
attacking the farmers.
Yes. Food.
Who was the last person to declare the farmers as the enemy? Wasn't that guy in Russia?
Stalin.
Yeah.
Well, sure, they had
made them the enemy, like.
Well, they had the Holodomor, which was the biggest. It was the biggest Holocaust ever. 60 million Russians killed between 1917 and the 1950s.
That's fucking insane, isn't it?
All at the hands of the Jews. But it's not reported.
What do you mean at the hands of the Jews?
Well, like 1917 was the Russian Revolution. Lenin,
Trotsky. Where are the Jews coming into it, like?
They're behind. You have to look back at history. Everything that's bad that has happened in this world, as we know it, in, like, say, in the last 200-300 years, like, from the setup of banking right up to where we are today.
Well, banking is just a bad fucking thing anyway.
But it's usury. It's usury. Like, if you look back in history, the Jews have been ran out of every country they ever went into. They have, and that's a fact.
And why? Okay.
Because
why have they been run out?
Usury is number one, which is lending money at interest.
All right.
Okay. Then it's just infiltrating governments. Everything that they've done is, like, I'm not qualified to say this.
Who is?
Yeah, but it's what I've read.
There's so much misinformation around.
Every war has been involved. Like, they've been involved in it in the background.
Financially.
Yeah, well, they fund both sides.
But that's just, I mean,
they've funded both sides of every war since the Napoleonic Wars.
I remember something about this, but there was another guy came into play when was it France were getting into a war, and he was going to finance them, and they lost, and they paid him back. I can't think of the guy's name. It was a very interesting documentary I was watching. But then again, it's only one documentary I saw. Now, my rule of thumb normally is if there's something like that piques my interest, I'll try to get as many documentaries on that one subject from many different perspectives, and the people making them have different reasons or whatever, in the hope of getting a fuller perspective, a better picture. Then I can make up my own mind then and only then. If I get I suppose
just arm yourself with as
10
many
to
facts.
20 different documentaries on the one thing should be enough to qualify you to make your own decision then, and come up with your own opinion of it.
Yeah, but look, remember, as in the last podcast we were saying, and you're right, because you do your own research.
Yeah.
And you take both sides.
You have to. You have to be totally just a spectator.
Yeah. And just use your head, right? And then you can form your opinion. But what's happening with us is we're just being fed to one side constantly. Constantly.
That in and of itself rings a bell to me. I mean, a perfect example for me of that was this sudden and global fucking attack on one man when he said, I think I'll go for president. The next thing it's like Hollywood is hating him for the most part. Robert De Niro lost his mind for the most
Trump,
part.
is it?
Yeah, I couldn't. For me, I was like, this is very interesting.
But
I know nothing about nothing, but that piqued my interest. To have this fucking chorus globally condemning one man, blew my mind.
So,
and yes,
see what they're at now.
They tried to shoot him for God's sake.
But now in the media, right? You watch all the sound bites. The American media. So you could have, you have your big ones, MSNBC, you have Fox, you have CNN, whatever else, right? But then you have your little satellite TVs in each state, right? So if you look at them, say, the big one is democracy, okay? So
illusion.
Yes, but it's sound bites that they use. So like you will say if you got 50 of these stations and just played the one sound, like everyone says it at the same time.
Yeah.
Each one of the stations. So we're here to protect our democracy. So they're going to say it. They're going to insert that into a sentence or into a script on the news, and it'll be played all across the states, right? So at the minute, they're calling Donald Trump and JD Vance weird. Look at it. Just look at it. It's there today and yesterday. So all the TV stations and the news stations are just coming out with, he's weird.
They're trying to Trump.
Well, it's just...
So that's a Trump move, like.
It is, yeah.
Just take a fucking word and throw it out there.
And that's what they're
Sleepy
doing.
Joe.
Yeah. And it's...
But look, what do you think about the whole assassination attempt thing? That's surreal.
Yeah, I think they tried to take him out.
Well, it's... what you know what I found very puzzling? I mean... I've seen 5 or 6 only different people reporting it, and it was basically, you know, the sniper who took out the would-be assassin.
Uh-huh.
He only did so by disobeying a direct order.
After he got the 5 shots away.
He was told, don't engage. And he's shooting the man. Dead.
But was there not... See, if you go back to JFK, right? Which is... that's the blueprint that you go back to.
Mm.
You have the Patsy Oswald.
Of course.
Okay. So he's in the book depository, or whatever, in the book depository. He has his rifle and stuff like that. But in any assassination attempt, there's a triangulation of...
Sure, I'm just saying a guy in a water tower now with the Trump thing.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
Of course it makes sense.
And the first...
especially when you've history.
Yeah, but the Patsy, is always the first to get shot.
Yeah.
So take him out because dead people don't talk, and that's it. You have... I think there was a lot...
How the fuck did he get through all that security with a ladder under his arm, a fucking rifle, and a rangefinder?
Yeah.
20-year-old.
Yeah. It stinks.
It stinks to high heaven. I mean, my initial thought was, this is a gag. But then, as the news would filter in and you get exposed to more reports and whatnot, and you're looking at it and you're thinking, okay, just turn off the emotions now because this is just going to be crazy. And the more you look at it, it's like, oh man, this is so blatantly obvious.
Right,
maybe am I being told to think that this is so obvious?
But so if you're looking at the side of where you're kind of looking objectively, looking at the sniper and the shot that was going to take him out, but look at the other side, okay, of Trump and his handlers. The what you call it, the security was just so inadequate.
Fumbling.
But you look at the photographs that they got. It was akin of remember Iwo Jima in World War II, where all the Americans are trying to bring the flag up.
Yeah.
It was... That looks staged when you
look. Exactly.
Do you know? So it's...
They're the nuggets that make you think, though, aren't?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like a cartoon, man. It's like a fucking cartoon.
I think we are. It's one big production.
It is, and it's
both sides.
It's
but
fucking insulting, like.
Yeah.
Because there's no way. I was watching this interview with another this lad who used to be a CIA agent, and he's very popular. It would seem lately. He's on a lot of fucking.
Is that
podcasts.
Ritter? Is it? No.
He's all
Scott Ritter.
got some big head of hair on him.
Okay.
He's usually wearing some kind of bandana thing to hold it off his face, but
All
it's
right.
like Sideshow Bob kind of job.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he was because your man was saying, this English lad who was talking, he goes, "Is it staged or blah blah blah?" And he goes, "No, I can tell you why it's not." And then he goes on, but then you're thinking, all right, you're fucking CIA. How can I fucking trust the word you say? But out of curiosity, I listened, and this is what he was saying, that if you're gonna fake it for media, just to up your ratings, excuse me, you will never shoot at the principal, which would be Trump in this case. He's the principal was a target. He said you'll shoot shots maybe over there, but never in his direction, or you don't want anyone getting hurt, and you certainly don't want to risk him getting hurt. Now there's a fucking photograph of a bullet flying past him. Do you see that? And then the questions come up. You need a particular kind of lens for the camera for that kind of shot. What the fuck? What are you going to a chat with this kind of lens on your camera for? But then the guy that gets killed,
Fireman.
you know what I mean? You have to say that has to bring. You'd be thinking that brings a bit of weight of fucking cop on, lads. It's not. It's a real event that happened.
It's collateral damage.
Well, of course, but I mean, I don't know, dude. For me, that there's a lot that'll come out yet about that yet. I think.
Well, I think they're going to try and they'll probably try and do it again before. Is it August that they go? The Democrats go to next month. They choose their candidate, presidential candidate.
Do you think that Camilla one is going to be?
I think what you call it. It's very possible Hillary Clinton could be brought back into the fold.
What are they going to do? Wheel her out? I mean, she's fucking. Do you remember the last campaign she was on? She was having fits and everything.
Well,
it
wouldn't surprise me in the least, or it wouldn't surprise me either if Big Mike was thrown out.
Oh man, there's no way that should happen. Well, but then again, there's no way allowed it. The only reason, I mean, I had Gabriel in here a while back, and he was going on about why people are so invested in American politics, and I was trying to explain, like I said to you that time, if they sneeze, we all end up with a cough or something. It's still significant on a global scale. What happens there will ripple through the world, and it'll affect our everyday, like in one capacity.
It affects everyone.
100% it does.
Right, okay. What?
But are they the distraction from what's going on with Russia and China
It's all
and India?
distractions. It's all distractions.
Because there's so many moving parts at the moment. You're like, which one? This is the loudest, most colourful one. This is the Hollywood production. But what the fuck's going on over there? And over here and over here?
But sure, what's quite Ukraine is just it's a massive laundry. It's whatever amount of billions have gone in, the guns are coming out the back door and the cash and everything. It's the greatest farce.
Oh look, that's just, I don't know. I mean, what I see happening, I don't know, is it an optimistic or a possibility? But there's no good ending for anybody. I think they're playing a rule book that's been used time and time again. But things have changed dramatically, and it might get out of their calculations. And I think there'll be one or two things that'll be revealed
in Ukraine.
In all of these things that are in play, and I think the shit will hit the fucking fan. It'll be the one thing that click people together in a way they've never been clicked together before, and say it's us against them. And that's the day.
It's good against evil.
It is good against evil,
yeah.
Big time. I mean, the Paris fucking what's it should tell you that. Mm-hmm. If you didn't know already, that's the boldness of that production was disgusting. And then they're going on, because my buddy Jim was on about it. He's an artist. Maybe we're just too old. We don't get that this is a rebel artist. And I goes, that's no artist. That is seriously no artist. I read this fucking thing that the artist came out, this statement, and I'm like, this rings bullshit from the first sentence to the end. It's pure bullshit. And it's. I'm shocked that they didn't burn the place down. The day after, I mean, it was fucking.
But see, they didn't attack the Muslims. If they attacked,
if they attacked Germany, they're fucking. How many mosques in Germany were attacked over the weekend by the cops?
No, but if you go back to the Olympics, they attacked Christianity.
Why did they attack Christianity?
Because that's who are under attack.
That's the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if they attacked Muslims, the city would be burnt to a cinder within hours. Burnt to a cinder.
But to be fair, like the Christians, is it? They can be as bad as the other crowd easily. I mean, you don't have to go too far back in history when they were fucking just bloodthirsty crazy. So the wheel turns, that's all.
Well, I don't know, I would argue that. Like, you had your crusades, you had Swinging Dixon, the British monarchy and the French monarchy, the Spanish monarchy, they were all off crusading around the world, getting their colonies in order.
Or how much of this now can you fucking say, well, I read it in a book, so it must be true.
Yeah, that's a lot of that.
Because if you look at the fucking bullshit that we've been fed over the last 10 years, and then you have your bullshit, but now, because of people who are, you know the way you have people who have a gift for a particular thing. It's like they have a knack for it. Like war journalists, real journalists, investigative journalists, who can't get a job in the media because the media don't want them. They want these fucking lackeys. But these guys have fucked off to the internet and they've set up their own little channels and they're like a production all of them by themselves. And they're making their way, they're doing their thing.
And they're gaining traction. They're
getting traction because they're dishing truth on a lot of things. And some of them are getting killed for their troubles. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know, I think these people are going to be, they're going to be the ones that shine a light on shit that people just don't want to see or don't.
Well, look at the world, like, the Irish people, for a start, they have to wake up and just start to smell the coffee, because it's everything that your government, like in any country, your government should be working for the people.
Of course.
And the people elect those governments to work for them, and just to run the country, right? But
how many times do you need to see this fucking show before you realise that doesn't happen?
And that's the thing with the Irish people. They're not, a lot of them.
It's a personality thing with the Irish people. Oh, but he's lovely, I'll vote for him.
Well, that's the party pump politics, and you have that, and that's an awful lot of how the Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil got a good local
stranglehold.
Election. Yeah. But you have a problem where the youth are just indoctrinated to...
Or disengaged.
Well, they're engaged, but they're engaged for, like... They're militant. Like, yeah, if you question something now, right, you're being called a fascist. You're being called right wing.
Yeah, but fuck what they call it.
No, but you know, it's weaponised. Okay?
I know, definitely weaponised.
There is no such thing as debate anymore. Like, they won't entertain debate.
Well, I'll go back to the basic fucking golden rule. Smack in the fucking face, get your attention. Is that real enough for you? And then lay it on. Because, like you said, they think they're protected by this fucking magical bullshit with these words and these blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Boom. Shut the fuck up.
But that's it. Like, they're the weaponized words: racist, homophobe, fascist, far right.
And so these are the cunts now who'd probably be cheering. I heard this fucking guy going on about the back to this Olympic thing, and he used to. He said, "Oh, it was very brave of them." I thought some English guy, and I was thinking, "You're bought anyway. You have to be bought to be talking that kind of crap, because that is just."
Is it just the transgender thing, or is it the what you call it, the
opening ceremony for the whole thing? Like,
oh yeah,
and the way he was. This is a guy who's meant to be just dealing with sports like soccer for the most part, and he went on this fucking like. You just felt violent urges go through your body as you looked at the manner in which he was saying the crap he was saying, and I was like, okay, I get it. Freedom of speech and all that. I don't like what you're saying, but I'm going to hear it. But now I know who you are and where you are in the argument, if you will. You're not on our side, if you will. So it's like, but if I ever meet you, we having a chat. I don't know. I better not have any coffee you meet that day.
See, if you go look at the director who directed the opening ceremony.
Look, that thing was a fucking... I don't know. That was just...
He was a Jew. He's gay. I'm not homophobic, but look at the facts. He's anti-Christian. He's woke.
He's from Holland, is he?
I'm not sure. No, he's French, I thought, was he?
He's not French.
Is he not?
No, I think he's from Holland.
Okay.
But no, that's... Because, I mean, look...
Was it jolly, is it?
Maybe I'm old-fashioned. But I'd be thinking...
Well, it's not old-fashioned. You have values and morals.
If Ireland has the Olympics, I would expect to get a patriotic Irish man or woman to say, listen, you're in charge of this whole fucking opening ceremony. The brief should be very simple. I want you to get the greatest parts of the history of the Olympics and the greatest part of the history of our country, our people. And I want you to merge it together and make this fucking thing a party. A celebration of the Olympics, of what it takes to be involved in the Olympics as an athlete, what it means, the sacrifices, the time, the determination, the
so what's going to be in it?
When you get knocked out. A proper fucking about the Olympics, not about this fucking ideology commentary bullshit.
Well, you saw all the symbolism that was there.
Of course, but it's not only in the Olympics.
What was it?
You on about Katie? What's her name?
No,
see her concerts lately.
What do you think? What do you think the opening ceremony was like? If you take away all the just in that subsection of what?
What are you on about the Last Supper part?
Yeah. What was it? What do you think it was?
I didn't look at it long enough. I just thought, well, this is just ugly as fuck.
But what do you like? There was symbolism there. Like there was. What do you think it was?
You're on about the blue fucking thing.
Well, that's what you call it.
I read what it was meant to be.
A Hindu deity.
And it was what he's writing. It's meant to have nothing to do with it. But it was obviously meant to do with it. The way it was set up.
Do you think it was a satanic?
I don't know that much about satanic shit.
Right. That's. I would say it was.
All I know is it was definitely an attack. It's definitely mocking. It was devilish in a sense. That... Yeah, I could see how one would say satanic. But then again...
But if you go back to 2012, the London Olympics... and look,
James Bond and the Queen?
No. Look at the London Olympics opening ceremony. Off the charts.
Yeah?
Satanic.
But what's the deal with who's with the satanic? I know there's been a lot of Hitler was very much he'd a witch and everything but I'd have no problem with that because I have a big interest in witchcraft and I'd love to get someone.
Well, there's white witch and
the ones that they robbed to make this fucking Bible bullshit and all these holidays. The ones they killed. Those witches.
Well, Salem and...
Yes. Some of them weren't even witches, but...
They weren't.
You know what I mean? It's
they weren't the same thing. They weren't towing the line.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all it was.
It's like if you're a man now, you're
they questioned.
a sex pervert or something, and like Julian Assange, what they did to him. Mm. You know what I mean? And the women didn't come out.
It's like the Spanish Inquisition. Everything.
But the Spanish took it to a new level. They were fucking psychotic in their religious zealous.
Yeah, but you look at the Jesuits. The Jesuits aren't.
There's no one comes out good in any of the religious stories.
The Vatican. I have my own views in the Vatican, anyways. But it's.
I started watching a very good documentary about Vatican City. Oh, dude, creepy, fucking creepy, man.
It's a lot of evil there.
I clicked on this one out of pure. I don't know. I keep fucking things up on the computer, and I've nothing. I'd like to have a menu of interest, but at the same time, I don't. I want to have something randomly arrive in front of me, and it's interesting. I'll pick that because in my head, then it's like when I go to do a painting. I don't want to have a plan. I want to have myself just open to the randomness, because there is no such thing as random, and there's no coincidence. So I want to walk into that space, because even in the internet, I know people go on about the fucking what you call it, what the fuck is the word, the something, the algorithms.
The algorithms.
Yeah, but I still believe in that little bit of fucking, call it crazy or magic or whatever, but that there'll be a little pulse of something that no one anticipated, and you just happened to see it, and it spoke to you, or what it'll get you one way or the other.
It'll define you then.
Wherever you are, be it on the computer, be it in a fucking field, in the ocean, something in the context of where you are, the pulse will always be there if you're open to it. And it's for everybody, but people just don't want to fucking, because it's not a blessing by no means. There's suffering involved to embrace it, but in embracing it, you're wiser for it later, because there's like a condensed fucking learning experience in it that just, there's a quantum leap ahead, forward, afterwards, into the light, or whatever you want to say. And those are the moments. So it's like that in a weird kind of way. So when I see something that isn't, I haven't orchestrated an algorithm to give me X, Y, and Z, like kittens and puppies and shit. It's just like, whatever's there. And then I just saw this thing about the Vatican, and I goes, okay. So I click on that, and then straight away I'm thinking, it's just the vibe I got off the people who were making it. There's this fucking, there was a little bit of fear about it, but then there was one woman and she bowed out as if to say, how fucking dare they do this to us. And if the people ever knew, and I'm like, lady, the people probably do know in some level, they just don't want to know. Because people get killed. But then again, we're all going to die. So, is it Rocky? Get something to, it's better to have something to die for than to have nothing to live for. A fucking boom, like, you know what I mean? So I don't care where it comes from. It can come from anything or anybody. You can't be judging shit like it has to be X, Y, and Z. When it's there, it's there. And don't presume that you're on such a fucking higher level that you can't go low and pick it off of someone else who's just a messenger, probably. So it's so fucking vast. Just the presumption, and the presumption comes from the programming from fucking Hollywood and all that shit. What kind of guy gets the girl, or what the girl has to do to get what it's like they're giving you a map to follow and a way to behave. And if you follow them, it's certain depression, and it's certain like a mental breakdown at some stage of your life. You say, this is not true. So if you just follow the buzz, it's all around everybody, but you have to put the phone away sometimes, and you have to fucking just turn everything off in your head, and then it comes, and then you grab it, and it's like a muse of a sort, and I think everyone has the capacity to get it, but just fucking turn the noise off.
Get out of your own way. Yeah,
so this is how it comes to me. Like I said, I just so happened to be in this room at this time, and I saw this thing, so I clicked on it.
So what did it...
Creepy shit going on there, man.
What do you reckon? Shit. So,
well, this is why I don't believe in the Bible.
Okay.
I understand that the Bible is a manual of sorts for a lot of coded messaging going on there, a lot of symbology going on in there, and then you have all these lunatics who take it word for fucking word, but that's to be expected no matter what the book is about whatever. Whoever goes to this book, whatever it is, when there's so many people looking at it, for fuck's sake, you can have so many people watching the same football game, but they'll all have a different interpretation of how that game went. Both the winners and the losers. It's just human nature, it seems. It's like they can't fucking... It's like they've been distracted to the point where they just can't admit to seeing what they're seeing.
Okay, so where's your point of reference then for everything for life? Do you know?
Your point of reference, you really have to go inside you and you have to get the fucking biggest drill you can find and you start digging down into your mind. And you shatter all your illusions. And you have to, the only way you can galvanize yourself to be safe is you can't. You just gotta fucking go for it, you know what I mean? Because you'll wake up someday and you'll realize everything might be going swimmingly. But you'll realize for some reason you're painfully bored. You're painfully bored because you're not getting nourished by life, by your life. Because you're paying too much attention to shit that is just not going to give you any sustenance. And then you start
That's life now, though. That's life as an awful lot of people know it. And
But they should know this shit when they're 14. It should be hitting them around then and right up till their early 20s. They should be fighting that battle in that time frame. They should be. It's like they're too afraid to be a rebel. A real rebel. Even to themselves, you know what I mean?
why is that? They're all programmed.
They all want fucking soft cushions and fucking soft
No, but
words.
they're being programmed from primary school.
But even in it's fucking.
They're taught not to question.
But it's in you. You'll only take so much of that, and you'll fucking.
But there's people that will
snap.
come out of their. They'll have their moments of clarity, and they will step outside of where they want you to be, because they want you in front of a TV. They want you voting for blue, voting for red.
Yeah, you did.
They want you. You know what I mean? That's a fact. They want you
Until they decide to kill you.
No, but they want you to take in everything there. Like, they want you to get an electric vehicle so that you're going to save the planet. You're going to do your little bit. They want you fully invested in everything that they are pushing. That's what they want. And they want you from as soon as you're born, you're assigned your PPS number. So you are a commodity. And from the moment you were born...
Yeah, but see,
that's
I have an
all the
issue
way.
with... You said that before, and I had an issue with it then, and I have an issue with it.
It's
I get what you're
that's
saying,
a fact,
but what I can't comprehend is how can that be in any capacity, in any legal fucking house? How can that be? Because how can a fucking infant have... I mean, you're just allocating something to an entity.
Countries borrow money off that infant.
But it's fucking...
That infant is collateral.
But who's taking ownership?
But that's the world of banking.
But that can't... That's fundamentally flawed.
Which everything is.
It's fucking just... Someone needs
In
to
England
take
at the minute,
to that.
there's what you call it. There's they're giving back money. You know, this PCP finance that's been out for the last say 10 years, where you never have the. You go and you get a loan for a car or a van. You put down maybe 7 or 8 grand. You get, you buy the car over. You pay rent for the car over 3 years, and at the end of the 3 years, you either pay a lump sum.
Like hire purchase kind of thing?
It's not. It's forever debt. It's you either pay off the car at the end of 3 years, by if you keep it under a certain amount of kilometers. Like there's fine print, and then you might have say 15 or 20,000 to pay after the 3 years. And if you don't, what you can do is you can enter into another agreement, get another new car, and the whole thing will start to get. Just like all it is just.
But why would you agree to that? Like,
but that's what the banks were pushing. So you're talking about like fairness, and there's no such thing.
Well, if you say that, then there is no such thing.
There isn't.
But I say there is.
There is if you step outside and if you go off, like,
but
if you don't comply.
How many people are on the planet? Not as many as we're led to believe, I think, but none of this.
How many's in Ireland? Not as many as we're led to believe either. A lot more.
But I think that if I'm thinking a particular way, I'm not alone. I have to believe that.
We're in the minority, but we're the people that the government do not like. We're the people that are going to be, whenever if they ever bring in this what do you call it, the social kind of, what's it called again? Oh, it's in China at the minute.
China's the new world order, is it?
Yeah, but like it's where you're under control, right?
Fuck that.
No, but that's the thing. Like,
Die trying, I say.
Yeah, but see, when they're going to link everything, they're going to try and link everything through AI, like through, like, James, you will have social credit system, right?
Yeah, no.
It's coming in.
It's not
It's
my
coming
words.
in.
Really, what about was it last
And
week
if
or
you're-
2 weeks ago when that fucking
Well, this podcast...
Microsoft tried to upload something and it shut down hospitals,
But
banks,
that's all planned.
airports.
It's all planned.
And now they're saying, well, that's the way forward. I said, fuck you.
Right, what do you think that was? That was a precursor for something like a full wipeout of the internet, right? Or like a full... full
I hear
breakdown.
rumours of fucking conspiracies that there will be a minimum of a 6-month wipeout of the internet. As in no one can access it. And they'll blame some solar storm. But I mean that's
Which brings it back to...
That's probably a good
climate.
thing.
Yeah, but it's all putting... It's fear.
Yeah, but look, there's such a network of fucking people who know what the fuck is going on. A network. They
Yes,
don't
but
need
see-
the internet anymore. They've gone back to the old school of it, like.
Yeah.
They're using payphones and
Off-grid.
whatnot.
Yeah.
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 But they can connect globally.
Remember, a while ago we said we're under attack from so many angles. Like you've climate, you've...
Or do they just... Are they trying to make you accept that as a fact?
Those people know what's happening. They know what's...
They know what they're trying to implement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way they can see it, but see the way that the governments are doing it and the politicians, they're sneaking in things every second or third day or every...
Oh, without
like
doubt.
they're not doing full on and everything, so it's all piecemeal.
Sneaky.
And it's all steps of the ladder. Steps of the stairs.
Well,
and
what
things.
do you do if... I mean, you can't hold back the tide.
Well, I think
What do you do
it's
if
gonna
you
come
find
to-
yourself in a world, you're still alive, and you see this fucking global thing happening? Where do you go? What do you do?
This is what I'm going to do. This is my plan. To buy a house with maybe an acre and a half.
Right.
Okay?
Because you'll own that then, sure.
Yeah, with
They take
with
shit
my own
off
money.
billionaires, my boy.
So, sink my well,
Yeah.
have my hens, and maybe a sheep or two, and if you can, and become self-sufficient. And it would be, have your garden, have your vegetables, organic vegetables. Don't be like you. If you go to the garden centre now, all those, a lot of it's cloned.
Then get a horse and use their shit.
Well, no, but like it's everything is it all has to go back to food and self-sustenance,
Yeah.
and that's it. You're out of the loop. Do you know, like your phone is the only thing that's tying you, but you can get the old, what do you call it, the old Nokia.
Yeah.
Do you know, like,
Radio.
well, yeah, they can't control you then.
But I mean, when you have things like this in the world, there's always a reaction. Like, you know, you can't have one baddie without a goodie trying to fucking battle the baddie. And
Well,
keep
that's
them-
what I said. There's Q and Honor out
Where's
there.
Batman in all of this? Who is Batman?
But look at you have people in Ireland now. Some very, very, very good people. Like you have Tracy O'Mahony. She's a lawyer in Galway. A solicitor.
Was she the
Unbelievable
girl who
person.
was putting videos on YouTube about your rights in certain situations?
Unbelievable lady. You have one of the ladies then.
Is
Elaine
she
Mullally.
suing the government for something?
Well, I'm not sure, but like she keeps an eye on everything. I follow her on what you call it on X or Twitter now. You have
How
other.
the fuck do you go on that thing, man? It's like a cesspit.
It is, but look, it's the best news that you'll get. You find out everything that's going on, because like you have like-minded individuals there.
Yeah.
Now, others will say that you're following the herd on that side, on the far right side. It's not. It's
The
actual.
far right. What is that?
Look at it's
Fucking bullshit.
bullshit. But you have other good, like John Waters, an amazing person. Elaine Mullally. There's like you have the guys up in Dublin, like you have. Ben
See, I
Gilroy.
can't do that. I can't follow anybody about anything. I can't get behind anybody.
Yeah, but look, if you want to know what's going on, that's
But
it.
then again, I
Because-
can't trust the information.
Well, there's stuff going on there that is that's affecting like people's lives. I watched a documentary on Tommy Robinson the last time.
All right.
Have you heard of Tommy?
I did, yeah. I thought I was Miss.
Out in the UK, he was.
I thought he was a baddie, but then I found out he's not a baddie. He's a goodie.
He raised a question.
Was he arrested recently?
Yeah,
or put him?
Did
they put him into jail?
I think. Well, there's some.
Was it?
Look, they're at him every day.
Over the weekend or something.
I think so. Yeah.
See, that's my problem with the likes of TikTok and shit like that. And the time frame is never accurate. You don't know when this shit happened or if it happened.
Well, something did happen last weekend. But did you see what happened? Like how he lost everything. Like he was a fairly wealthy individual, like with a business.
Yeah, I remember you told me this.
Like,
yeah.
A school fight in Huddersfield, where a white guy was videoed holding an immigrant or a migrant down on the ground, a young lad, and pouring water on him. And it went viral. And what happened was, like, Piers Morgan, Jeremy Vine grabbed hold of it, and it was a racist attack, and that this is what white people are doing to migrants. It went global.
Just based on a video.
Yes. Okay. So.
Wow, some investigative journalism there.
Piers Morgan called the white young lad vermin, and that whatever retribution is done, he deserves every bit of it. Right? So they edited, they cut the video. So what actually happened was this young lad had gone around and he had beaten up so many young girls at school. He had threatened to rape two of the white lad's sisters. And the white lad he held him down, and you can hear in the video, say it again. So he was sticking up for his sisters. Right? So what happened then was all the Muslims in the area reached out to the Muslim community. They started coming from miles around, started rattling the cage. This is totally anti-Islam. It's Islamophobic, blah, 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 blah. It went global. Tommy went and investigated it. He started ruffling feathers. He found the truth. What actually happened, within hours they called for the headmaster to resign. So all the teachers, everybody that was involved that knew the truth about this young lad, all the teachers and the headmaster and everything, they were all paid off by Kirklees County Council, or the council.
What?
And they were all made sign non-disclosure agreements.
Fuck off.
Yeah, that's the truth. So Tommy was investigating it, right? So the imams that were involved and the Muslim machine that were involved got high-powered solicitors from London then, and instead of suing the white boy, they decided to sue Tommy Robinson.
On what grounds?
That was it. Like, for they bankrupted him. Every court that he went to was corrupt. They needed this
opposition.
They needed the racist angle on it. The establishment needed it.
But they'll throw that in everything now, won't they?
But that's what they're doing.
Angle.
But that's what they're doing.
That's why I say the words have only the power you give them.
But if you up the road, the place in Tipperary, what's that house? The hotel.
One of many.
But it's a lovely hotel, and it's there's 180 people in the village.
Oh, and they want to bring 250 people in.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Yeah, that's not right.
But they're going to do it. They'll come out and the government will come out.
Is it just incompetence? Because I've seen some of the government people come out talking, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's an agenda.
Well, it looks very organised.
It is.
I mean, across all the countries.
Of course it is, across Ireland. Wait till you see now. I think, is it September that you're going to see that the dole is going to be cut for the Ukrainians down to €38. They're getting the fuck out of here. They'll be gone. Back to Ukraine. Back to their, non-war-torn country.
Yeah.
You know?
I've seen videos of that country lately. And you have the date and all that and the time going by on the camera. And you're like, wait a minute. This is fucking bullshit, man.
So we're going to be left with no Ukrainians but everyone else.
There's a movie. It's one of the... It's very. It keeps popping up my memory of late. Iron Man, I think, is in it.
Right.
It's one of those movies, and there's a guy always on the fucking news. It's like a terrorist sends videos into the news, and the news blasted everywhere. And it turns out when I think it's Iron Man finds the guy, he thinks he's been sucked in by the whole media thing. Turns out Jermaine's only a fucking actor. And he's so convinced that he's actually, the way they're handling him, that he's actually he doesn't know what they're doing with the video. He thinks he's just in a movie.
Yeah. It's like the Truman Show.
Outside of the island he's on, the rest of the world see this guy as the Bin Laden, we'll say, of the world. And that's what you have now. You have actors. And they probably don't really understand what they're involved. Maybe they do, I don't know. Who gives a fuck? Just pay me. That's probably the attitude. Yeah. But it seems that's the way. But then I heard someone else say that maybe the media are behaving this way because they know their days are numbered. And they're just, everything now is just a frenzy.
If you go back there to yes on both counts. But if you remember, was it 4 months ago? 3-4 months ago, there was it was in Dublin. There was marches. Where it started was it the inner city over the stabbings?
All right.
Okay, and then it went. I'm not sure.
It got out of hand. There was a few things.
There was what you call it. Remember there was an undercover recording in a hotel room of a news talk reporter. Was it a news talk reporter? I have to be careful. It was a reporter anyways.
Right.
And he was mainstream media reporter, and they were getting ready to go undercover and start causing trouble.
Weren't RTE people accused of this as well?
Well, I don't know if they were, but it's
whenever there's a peaceful protest, throwing a few tramps to fucking
that's it.
Kick shit off.
Yeah, Antifa or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. So, like, they've no credibility whatsoever.
But what's the story now? Because you're in the know about a lot of stuff.
I know fuck all.
But you know what people are at.
Well, I know the mechanics. I know what's going on. I know what's going to be happening. Like, I know where they're going or where they want to go.
But I mean, the communities that are it seems every other day there's a different community on the fucking on one news channel or another. And they've never been painted in a good light. Like I was away up in Derry recently, and then it was just now and then because we were wrecked. We're in the middle of fucking competition thing, but you'd be thinking, what the fuck is going on? I leave for 2 days and the place has gone crazy. You're getting these sensational photographs on all these media fucking platforms of these kids on bareback horses and flames going into the sky behind them, like something out of a movie. And I'm like, that's. You know what I mean? That's very fucking orchestrated.
Yeah.
It's just... It's all the tricks in the book are being used. And, I just wonder, like, what's going on? Is there going to be fucking... Is there a new fucking military outfit after popping up?
It's questionable.
I heard so...
Now, is there a new military outfit being brought into the country?
I think that's a definite. Police vehicles in Kulak. What's that about?
Well, that's the PSNI.
I see that people are spraying on any worker who goes to work here will be shot. This is sprayed on graffitied on walls up around the area. And then I saw something say there's these lads in Ballycalavas. It's like a new outfit. It's like the way the IRA would have been back in the day or something.
I know people aren't listening to. It's like the salt of the earth up there, like community
all over the country.
No, but like community, family first. That's the first.
Yeah.
And then you have your locality, community. Like we are parish based always.
Yeah.
And like it's in our sport, it's in our heritage, like it's in our school system. Like it's all parish based. So everybody, it's an old Irish way. Like you do look in on your neighbour next door and just to make sure that everything's okay. But now they have disregarded.
Division they're trying to create division with your neighbour now.
Absolutely.
Big time. But that started with that other fucking Egypt. What's his name?
Bradker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really brought that in With a fucking passion.
These are all guys that are... If you look back at Ranker's history, he's a member of the WEF.
Yeah, I know this.
Pascal Donoghue, WEF.
How can they be allowed to hold positions of government?
But they were young global leaders. They've been nurtured. Since...
Well, where are the brains of the opera? I mean, why is anyone not seeing this for what it is?
But they can't. Because, look, you have Ógra Fianna Fáil, Ógra Fianna Gael, you know, like you have the youth wing.
Yeah.
And these guys are all...
That in and of itself is a problem for me.
But that's...
This should not be in existence.
But that's where...
That's a serious threat to any democracy. To have this, it's like, what the fuck?
But see, when you have the WEF controlling and pulling strings, and they had a
that's high treason on every count. Like.
Of course it is. But they had a crop of politicians that came at the right time. Trudeau, Macron, Varadkar. You had the Estonian, Lithuanian ones. You had
what about the lad in Argentina?
Millet.
Do you see? Is it Argentina? He's got a crazy head now.
Yeah, I don't know about him now.
What's the story with him? He's kind of gone.
He's a puppet.
Crazy, is he?
Well, he's a puppet.
Well, yeah, I think he was crazy to begin with.
I read a good thing about Argentina there last week. Like, Argentina was one of the most wealthiest countries in the world, coming up to the 30s. Like, you know the way Saint-Tropez was the place that we went to? Argentina was the place to go. It was beautiful. Dripping with money. It was such a luxurious country. But then democracy came in. You know, that democracy.
Yeah.
And it's a shithole now. Well, Argentina, lovely people, but it's when the Yanks bring in, or the Americans or whoever bring in democracy, it tends to kind of...
Well, that's all over the world, you can see that.
Yeah.
But it's like this guy was... I think it was a speech I was listening to him going on, that, you know, the way that they had like bonus payments and shit for bankers and politicians in the country. He said that's all gone now. That's over. But he's fired a whole bunch of fucking people, man.
Yeah, but
is he kind of...
He came out and... is it Meloni in Italy, right? She was... Yeah, but at the start...
quickly.
Yes, but see, her platform was, and her mandate was...
Italy for Italy.
Italy for Italy, right? And as soon as she got in, totally opposite.
Revisit that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all...
Actions, that's why see, if you're going to go I think the people of every fucking so-called democracy should be a law. If you're going to go out and your mantra is X, Y, and Z, and if you deviate from that in any fucking way,
out to fuck.
Jail. Out the door, jail. You should be in prison.
Yeah.
Because that's blatant intent on misleading the people to get you in a position of power.
If you get a country that's clean at the start,
well, none
you
of
can
them
do
are
that.
clean.
So I think the only way now is revolution, and it is the only way that
they're
you
talking about revolution everywhere. They're talking about civil war in America, and I don't know. I mean, people aren't stupid.
Well,
there's got to be.
There's going to be a point where there's a pushing point, a tipping point, right?
But this is Animal Farm. The pig has got the dogs.
But
what you do about the dogs? Once you get the dogs out of the equation,
right? Well,
it should be fairly easy straight after that.
Was Orwell wrong?
So we need the dogs to fucking wake up, but they're so conditioned. I don't know, is it ever going to happen?
But that's it. It needs.
They'd be just saying, "Kid, you should join the army, or you should join the cops. That way, then you'd be okay." Instead of like, no, the opposite should be true. Instead of fuck away from that, it's.
Well, politics doesn't work.
No,
because it's corrupt to the core. That's it. Independent Ireland got in there. They had 2 MEPs and a host of local elections.
Fianna Gael or Fianna Fáil or something.
And then they joined a Liberal...
See, that's what I'm talking about. Straight away they should have been fucked out in their air and put into...
But they're dead ducks now in the general election. I'd say Michael Collins would be lucky to hold... I don't know when he hold a seat in Cork. Or your man Richard O'Donoghue in Kilmallock. I don't know will they hold their seats now. People have just... They've gone against everything that they initially stood for. And like they were only in a wet week.
Yeah. Blatant.
There was a lovely buzz. There was a lovely kind of
progress.
Well, there was a buzz amongst the people who were looking for change.
Yeah.
And then to go out and just pull the rug from underneath every good honest person.
You're surprised? I'm not.
I was upset. I'm telling you, I was upset because I voted for them. I voted for them in Cork, and Ken, what do you call him? Oh, he's there in Cork North Central. He got the biggest vote of any councillor in the country. He's now the Independent Ireland chairman or something. I think so.
There's so many fucking independent this and da da da. It's a bit Monty Python now at this stage.
Well, the other three parties I think are coming together. Like I think Derek, you have Herman Kelly, and you have, I'm not sure who's the leader of the Irish Freedom Party. The three of them are coming together, I think, in the...
I heard there was something in the works.
They have to, though.
But it makes sense. I mean, I don't know. Look, too many chefs in the kitchen, perhaps.
If you can sort out ego, that's the only thing. If you can sort out the egos and just elect a leader and everybody row in behind them. Because they will...
How can anyone trust anyone in that game?
That's the old Irish... problem, isn't it? There was an informer in bloody
everything,
every rising, every rebellion was
always a snitch.
Yeah. But look, you have to hope, you have to try.
I don't see it. I you know what I keep waiting for? It's like there's a different vehicle to go bring everything forward, and it's just not been. I don't see it yet. It's not politics.
No.
That's just division and fucking... It's stirring the pot of hatred.
Yeah, but see, politics is just... They're going to bring out... There will be another crisis soon. And they're going to bring it out before the election in America because they don't want Trump getting in. So either it could be H1N1, you know, that bird flu, or it could be something...
But this...
Climate or...
All of that can only be done on the people complying. And I don't know if the people are going to comply now, this time around.
You'll have the mask wearers. You will have those, but the people, not as many now will comply. It'll be...
If they do, I'm leaving the fucking... I'm just leaving. I'm going to an island somewhere, smaller island, where there's
go to Hungary.
Nobody.
Hungary's the spot.
Hungary are going to get the shit bombed out of them soon.
Well, he's a good man.
He is. That's exactly why. He talks a lot of sense.
Well, he's let in. There's no migrants allowed in. No LGBT.
Sure, Poland's the same, isn't it?
No, Donald Tusk is back in Poland. There was a kind of a internal coup. They had an election, and the lefties, they got rid of the what you call the.
When did that happen?
It was around Christmas, just after Christmas. Donald Tusk wasn't he? He was high up in Europe, and they got him back in as the Prime Minister of Poland.
Sure, look, Europe is just... It's an obvious enemy, and no one seems to fucking are doing anything about it. They're just saying, oh yeah, that's the enemy.
Yeah, but as I said to you,
here's your check.
It's another part of the UN. They had to have Europe first. So 1970, whatever, 1969, or whenever the France and Germany and...
But wasn't that... I mean, it's what it is today... is nothing compared to what it was meant to be, what it was set up as.
It's everything it was supposed to be. It's everything now that it was planned to be. That's what you have to get into your head.
I do get that. Because it's so perfectly put into place.
Yeah.
It's like strategically.
You can't change... This is all this has all been planned hundreds of years ago. What's happening now?
Hundreds of years ago?
Yeah.
I know things changed dramatically after World War II. Like the introduction of the television into the household. And now you have the fucking phone, which is like that on steroids.
Well, if you look at, there was a pandemic. They tried to have a pandemic in 2008. It was called the swine flu.
I remember. There was a lad in Germany, or was this Belgium, who put a fucking halt to that fairly loudly.
But see, it didn't cross from... there was something about the transmission of it. But a friend of mine got it in London, and his kidneys they haven't been right since he's on dialysis.
Really?
All because of it, yeah. But that was supposedly they wanted to...
That's what they want to push next, though.
Oh yeah, there's going to be another big one.
Cunts.
They're already culling hens. They're culling chickens in the States, and they're culling chickens in Australia. He didn't, but nobody knows.
there's so much fuckery afoot, man.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
No, look, you have to be as good as you can. Like, people, you have to kind of. I try and
what
convince people.
do you do with your every day with all this information?
It's kind of like a plague. It does plague me because you have. Like, once you know what's going on, it's very hard to kind of shut off.
I understand.
Because when you see. You can see that everyone's under attack from so many different. Like, I was saying, climate, technology, refugees,
it's
war,
the whole
finance,
menu's been thrown out.
Everything. So, I don't know, I just try and tell as many people as I can. But look, it's so bloody hard because so many people are just, they won't question. They're just yes people. Like, it's just...
Well, to be fair, who the fuck wants to deal with this shit?
I know.
You know what I mean? You want to crawl under a fucking rock and just get on with it. And try to knock a bit of crack out of your life somewhere and just live in peace.
Now, I would love to get up on a soapbox, excuse me, and just shout it out. But my life is so busy at the minute, like with my family and like keeping everything going my side. I'd love to just kind of get up and just like do what Derek is doing, or do what all the good people like Derek Bly, all those like Elaine Mullally, Tracy O'Mahony.
Derek Bly, I saw a video that Scooby-Dooed me with him recently.
His heart's in the right place.
No, I think it is.
It is.
But he was... Why Scooby-Dooed me was... You know what the video was? It's him showing how to lay blocks.
But he's a block clear.
But do you not get it? It's like, all of a sudden, he's just like, fuck this, I'm going to lay blocks. This is how you lay blocks.
I know.
I was like, okay. But it was just such a... How would you say?
You could argue if Derek had gone that way from the start and just kept it a bit softer, he could be elected.
I think I might have... I was talking to him about that, but I suppose when you're in it, like he was in it, it's hard to be fucking gentle.
It is hard to be gentle
because you're going to be affected emotionally. Yeah. So you're trying to keep it on. But to be in it like all the time, it's bound to fucking rattle you. You know, get you riled up. And then when you're fucking trying to communicate it into people, you're getting more angry as you're doing it.
You're knocking your head off a block wall.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then you don't realise that you're coming across as a bit fucking... angry.
Yeah, see, everyone like...
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's a way to communicate.
Well, there is. Tell the truth.
Well, that's 100%.
That's...
But I mean, if I'm going to do something like that, I would be inclined to say, you have to take stock of your moment and yourself and say, okay, I'm fucking twitchy right now because I'm so fucking enraged about this blatantly obvious criminal offence going on against the people. And you're fucking you want to go to war. But you got to just go and have, I don't know, get your body to a calm place so you can give the communication that you want to give in a fashion that it's not going to be, you know, a bit hairy.
When you start communicating, you're piled on. As soon as you raise your head above the parapet.
Don't mind that.
But like,
fuck that.
Like they just
people are going to love to point the finger, mock you, insult you.
Yeah.
But it's only unless they're standing in front of you, it doesn't matter. If they're standing in front of you, then you can, you know.
Well, I was disappointed. Like, I thought Derek should have got a bigger vote from around here. Like, I'm not from here, but
again, look, it goes back to, I mean, like he's first time out, and the media totally against him.
But that's the
and
machine.
All these fucking the machine is against the one man. So I mean, look, again, you have to look at your enemy, and you have to look at what you can do in this moment in time, especially. Like, you know, if you just got a little bit creative, perhaps. I'm not saying I know what he should have done, but I'm thinking surely there was more ways of getting your thing out there.
Quite possibly, but
if nothing else, now he's got the experience he didn't have beforehand in how to fucking, you know, go on a campaign, if you will. So now perhaps he's better informed, and now he'll have more ideas of how to approach it in a more creative fashion, a more effective one.
Well, if I was in this area, I would definitely be voting for him. That's it. Hands down. Without a shadow of a doubt.
And what would you base that on? You're voting for, like.
These are the people that we need.
Well, I know that, but
you can't like
what you just said a minute ago, stating the facts about those other two individuals who were flying the same flag, but the minute they got to where they needed to go, they jumped ship.
Yeah, but one of them was a career journalist, Kieran Malooly. Okay, who has been reporting bias since day dot. So it was a bit strange that he did join the party. Like, why would he, like?
Well, from day dot, perhaps he was with the party.
No, from the day dot he was with RTE.
Well, he's definitely with the party. If he's
he was
RTE.
with the Uniparty. That was it. Like, so, it was like the wolf in sheep's clothing, definitely. And then you have Michael McNamara in Clare, I think, is it? He was a good lad as well. I think he got in, a solicitor, and.
So what do you think of this? What do you think? I mean, on a personal level, what would make someone just go, who are clearly like they're the guy to vote for, they get all the votes, and like you said, in a wet week they're fucking in the enemy camp.
Planted for definite.
It's just so fucked up, like.
Yeah, it's to bring the little party down, like. Give them
sink the ship.
Sink the ship. Yeah. Stop the.
But this goes back to why I bring it up. So you're going on about Derek. How are you to know that he won't be compromised like they were, if they were compromised?
Because he's honest to goodness. He's what you call it. He's.
But didn't you say those two guys were?
No.
Good guys.
Well, look at they pulled wool over a lot of people's eyes. I don't know. I don't know. I've never met the man, but
I don't think you could ever be sure anyway of another person.
Well, I think you could. Like,
I don't think
I'm not a bad judge of character.
Yeah, but even character these days is getting fucking scuppered.
You'd know. There's no way that I don't know the man from Adam, but. He's not a person that would sell out Ireland. No way.
I don't say he would. I don't think he would. I don't know what I think of Derek. I mean, I'd like to see him succeed. That's what I think of Derek.
I think, Ireland needs these people to succeed.
Yeah.
They need the Gavin Peppers.
I need him to be true.
Well, they need the Gavin Peppers. They need the Malachy Steensons. They need these people in government or in local government or in Dáil Éireann to ruffle feathers. Like, you have got a little Schlevian down there in Kerry, Michael Healy Ray. Like, parish politics, that's the epitome of parish politics. He's his hand in every little sneaky thing that's going on.
Really?
Oh, stop. He's a little snake in the grass. Oh, he is.
But that's how I see them all.
He's worse. He's probably and he has the people of Kerry duped because he'll make sure that your road is there and he's checking RIP every bloody day and
see,
every funeral he's gone to.
That's the plan. I mean, that's all people fucking want. They want you to give them the infrastructure that they require to do what they want to live their life.
They're paying motor tax for anyways. It doesn't make, like, when you break it all down, it's fucking bananas.
It is bananas. Look, the whole thing is a shit show.
Yeah, but these fuckers, well, they're all jumping ship now because they know there is going to be a wipeout in this next general election.
Well, that just tells me it's like, those suicide bombers or the kamikaze guys. It's like their objective has been met. They've succeeded.
Oh, they've done.
At their, this has to have been, someone had to say, okay, this is the plan. When we get there, this is probably what's going to happen then. So... there must be a plan B, C, D,
this was
E,
all
F.
orchestrated. Like, the Greens to come into power with, was it 4% of the vote or 5% of the vote?
Look, don't get me started on...
But it was all orchestrated. Everything was orchestrated. It's all planned. And this was the way to... Because every country had to have the leaders in place to bring forward climate change, to bring forward the refugees, like you couldn't have a nationalist government here. Now, even though
will we ever?
Well,
again,
no, Sinn Féin aren't nationalist.
I wouldn't have them in the door. Sorry, no, but no fucking
They're
way.
woke.
I wouldn't have them inside no one at the moment in government or in that fucking circle would I wouldn't vote for any of them.
No, well, ain't they're honest to goodness, but no, outside of that, no. But that's where we need a new right wing, but more to bit to the centre, but honest to goodness right wing, centre right that will work for you and that are morally good. And
is that just a fucking illusion?
Well, everything is left.
It seems anyone that goes near that fucking chalice.
No, but like Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael were always centre right. They were always centre right. Labour.
Where did all this left shit come from? So
they're all left now.
Yeah, extreme.
And why? Because it's part of the agenda. The WEF, UN, WHO, European agenda.
And whose fucking brainchild is that? This agenda? Jews. I don't see it happening. Well, I see something's happening, but I don't see how. Is this why Israel is untouched? I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about, but when you can't get facts,
well,
it's hard to
it's
fucking.
All there. It's all like.
It's like looking at the stars at night. I'm
no,
like,
it's
I never
all
come
there.
from all.
You look at all the leaders. You look at everything. It's just start using your loaf.
You say that, easily said.
One country in
Sherlock
Europe,
Holmes would fucking struggle to put this together.
One country in Europe has gone against the status quo. They said that they don't want to bring migrants into their country. They don't want to bring LGBTQ, all this kind of stuff into their country. They're vilified. They're piled on by every other country. They're being fined for protecting their people, for protecting their children.
They're being fined.
They're being fined. Is it $1 million a day or something?
Who's finding them?
That's Europe, the EU.
Tell me what the fuck off.
But look at this is the bullshit that's going on.
Why can't people just accept this?
But they're going to start. The next thing now, they're going to start sanctioning them. See, the worst thing possible, like it was all planned. Like say, like
see where all these suits get you. Do you see where suits get you?
Look at it's.
And I wouldn't mind. I love suits. I love to wear a suit. I'd love to have a job where I'd wear a suit every day.
Would you fuck?
I would.
Stop.
If I
wouldn't last half an hour
in a suit.
No, would you fuck?
Or on the job.
No, you'd want to be out building things with your hands. Will you?
In a suit.
I go back to the old days. All the
yeah, I love those photographs, man. You see, there's one photograph, two lads up in this fucking mountainous hill, building this stone wall, and they're in the waistcoats and everything, the shirts, and then there's this lady coming up with a tray of fucking milk or something and tea.
Yeah, but our trade, like plastering, was all done.
Suits.
We all went to work in a suit, a shirt and tie, and you had your little white jacket, your little white coat.
Where did it all go wrong?
Price work.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
But I don't know. I do like the idea of wearing a suit. But at the same time, I'd always be like, at my fucking, because even these t-shirts that are around, I prefer V-neck, because anything around there at all, and I'm like a fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Get a scissors, snip. You know, so it's like I need to have a fucking kind of
let the air in.
So maybe a suit without a tie.
Birthday suit. Just fucking go in your birthday suit.
I don't know, but no, I don't know.
No,
I associate
it's for so many people. Like you're going back to what you call it.
But no, what I'm getting to is I associate the suit now with the enemy or with an enemy of my way of life.
A corporate crime.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
White collar crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, look, I'm glad I love what I do. It's you have something there, like you're proud of what you leave behind you at the end of the day.
I get that.
And you're the same.
Yeah.
And you're you're
I like
happy.
the little battles you have in the course of the day with yourself. Physically,
Yeah.
you'd be like, fucking exit. But you know you have to get so
That's it.
far. You just have to.
Well, you have to enjoy it. You have to, like...
Yeah, but that's well and good. But come Wednesday or Thursday, that kind of time of the week where you're just fucking... Your body's aching and your mind is a bit numb.
Well, here was one for you, right? And I know we were going to see if we were talking about this. Like, I went up to Shannon
That's right.
2 weeks ago. I rent a cruiser every year for the kids.
Right.
And we go off. We set off from Banagher. And this is totally tangent. But I'm just talking...
Good.
So, pick up the boat at around 4 o'clock and you're trying to make the lock in Athlone by 7:30. That's the whole thing. Because you get the other side of the lock. Sean's bar is on your left. And you moor outside Sean's bar and you can have a lovely creamy pint.
Nice.
Bring it onto the boat.
Nice.
You know, it's just lovely. So, and you're right in the heart of the town as well. So,
That sounds very
that
nice.
was day one. That was a Saturday. So we moored up there, made the lock. The locks are amazing. The kids love them. Like,
I bet.
you come in at a level, and then the lock will either bring you up or bring you down to the level of water the far side. So it's Athlone is a lovely lock, and it's run by a man called Tim Connolly,
Tim Connolly.
a Dublin man, but
In Athlone.
really, really nice lad, and he has pet pigeons.
Really?
He's there for years. So
Pet pigeons?
yeah, the pigeons they'll come and they'll sit with them.
Does he do any messages?
Well, the kids like
I'm texting.
yes.
Off it goes.
Tim
Tim
is the name of the.
Did you?
Oh no, Jim. Sorry.
Are you
What?
inclined to take photos or anything when
Oh,
you're in
yeah.
these places?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. The kids love it. So that was day one. They're mad to get to talk to Tim and see if Jim is around the pigeon. So while we're in the lock there, Ellie, my youngest, will be out. Is Jim here? And so Tim will be saying, oh, he flew off there. He should be back in a while. But so that's the first thing. Get past the lock and moor up for the evening and get a pint on board.
Nice.
So day two then was up nice and early. Went up and got croissants up the town and then hit for Hudson Bay, which is just up. Like, you're going up to Shannon and you're going on to Loughree and you're veering off to the left. It's the Hudson Bay Hotel.
Hudson Bay.
Yeah, it's just it's up on the kind of the start of Loughree on the
Right.
left hand side, on the Roscommon side. So there you have the Hudson Bay Hotel, lovely harbour, and there is Bay Sports. So Bay Sports is an inflatable water activity park. So big fuck off slides, right? Oh lads, and so we all like I bring my
awesome.
I bring my two nephews with me, and with my own three kids. Then so I had 7. What did I 3? There was 6 of us on the boat, and I was the only adult.
What kind of boat is this?
Well, it's an 8 berth I had, so there was 3 rooms,
Really?
3 bedrooms on it. Yeah,
I'm just driving the boat.
Misha.
Really?
Yeah, Commodore myself. No, but
Fucking
yeah,
hell.
you're only travelling at
I don't give a fuck.
8 kilometres an hour.
I go on a kayak and I get in trouble.
Oh no, it's brilliant. It's
That sounds awesome.
yeah, and the people you meet, look, you're just pulling into villages along the way.
Yeah.
and it's very well serviced.
Right.
So you have little harbours. Like, as soon as we went to we went up in the morning from Athlone up to the Hudson Bay. I'd organised a birthday party for my daughter, so big cake, and my brother was coming down from Carrick and Shannon on his boat. He rented a boat as well, but he was coming the other way. So we organised to meet in Hudson Bay. So we all went to Bay Sports, jumping on the slides. Like, I went on this really tall, and I swear I got whiplash. I'm still not right. I'm half fucked. And this is 2 weeks ago.
Adults should never go into playthings that kids play because
yeah.
they always get damaged. Even a fucking trampoline, man.
Yeah. We're not designed, like, once you go over 45, I think that's it.
Forget about it.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Seats,
Yeah, seats.
drinks, cigarettes.
That's it.
Oh, that's great. Well done.
Well done.
That's it. That's all you got to do. But to engage in it, no.
Yeah.
That's a big no. That's a no.
It was a disaster.
Even playing soccer with the kids is a fucking danger, man.
I don't do that anymore because you could just fall and break your hand or something like that. Or...
Well, I tried to do it, but they're not interested. I'm the only dope going around with the football by myself, thinking.
Well, I'll go out and I'll hit a couple of, like hurling now. I'll play hurling with them and just. But then yeah, that's what I was.
That
10
sounds
days.
Awesome.
It's a great holiday. But
I'd say the scenery must have been awesome.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. The only problem is the weather. Like sometimes, like we get some great days and you get some bad days, but
there's a beauty in the bad days too, isn't there? On a landscape,
but
like
yeah,
that.
it is beautiful. Like it takes you 3 hours to get from one end of Lochreed to the other.
Really?
Yeah, you're going all the way up to Lanesborough in County Longford. You have Lanesborough and Ballyleague. So Ballyleague is on the Roscommon side.
Yeah.
And you have Lanesborough on the Longford side. And we went up there, it was just when, you remember COVID, the fake you...
Yeah.
So, what you call it, when they were just letting, like, you had the €9 fucking chicken wings to have a pint. Remember that time? Like, you had to pay €9. Like, it was bullshit from the very start. But anyways, there was one pub in the town that wouldn't obey the orders of the state. Fair play to them. And the pubs in Ballyleague, the other side of the river, did obey the orders of the state. So what happened was, and the first time it had happened in years, the people on the Roscommon side crossed the bridge to go for a pint, and they got talking again to their Roscommon or to their Longford neighbours, which they hadn't done for years. So it brought them all together. And it was
Defiance.
Well, it was what's called. They'd stopped doing it. Like all the Roscommon people, the bridge was the only thing that separated. Now that bridge is Connacht, Leinster, Roscommon, Longford. Do you know? Yeah. And it's right in the middle. You have a mark in the middle of the bridge, that defines it. But it's a lovely town, lovely village, and lovely harbour, lovely marina. I must
go there someday.
Good for fish, great for swimming. Every day the kids, like, wetsuits are on, into the water. That's it. You're jumping off the back of the boat. Great crack. You're jumping about 8 or 9 feet into the water. Like, it's all
not for me.
Lepping. And after that, then, so after Lanesborough, like, we got up in the morning then, and we hit for Rooski and Tarmanbarry and Drummond. So Rooski and Tarmanbarry first, they all have bridges that lift.
Right. And
they have locks. So you have to go to the lock first, and the lock keeper, if there's 2 of them on charge, you're grand. One of them will cycle up to open the bridge, but if there's only one of them on charge, the lock keeper is putting the guys in the locks, bringing them up and putting them out the other side, and he'll have to wait then for boats coming down and let them off, and then he has to cycle up like a hooer to open the bridge for you.
Oh fuck!
Like he's flat out.
And how often is it just one guy?
Yeah, it's like that's like they work for Waterways Ireland.
But I mean, how often is the case where you're going up there and there's only one guy at this fucking thing?
Well, there was that time, yeah.
Oh fuck!
Honest to God, yeah. So he was letting boats coming downstream. They have right away first.
Okay.
So if the lock gates are closed, if you're coming upstream and the lock gates are closed, that means that it's at the level of the river above the lock. So they will get priority if there's boats coming down.
And what if there's nothing coming down?
He'll empty the lock and he'll let you in. So he'll bring the water level down.
How old is that?
1840s.
Really?
Come on, we had this conversation before. The Shannon was like the M1.
Yeah, but
for
you're
bringing
talking
all the stuff.
to me now. Like.
Yeah, but this was where all the corn and all the stock and everything went out. You can travel from Limerick all the way up to, well, you could come out near Rathlin or up the lower Ban. It was all connected.
Huh.
That's going on the Shannon. Then you have the Shannon Erne Canal. And
so
then
this must be like a lot of people must be doing this thing.
There's people that live on it.
Really?
Yeah. There's serious boats on it.
So is it busy?
It's not as busy this year. Last year was busier.
Really?
Yeah, it was really noticeable this year. I think this is what I think, and like there's not.
Just say it.
We're kind of coming close to a little bit of a bang. I don't know. There's disposable cash isn't as
Well, I think that's more to do with the uncertainty of things than anything else. Because who knows what the fuck's going to happen tomorrow anywhere. Like.
Yeah. So the higher fleets, it was very quiet when I went up, anyways. And this time last year, it was very busy. So it's just something that I've seen, but you have like.
Because they were saying recently there, the footfall through Dublin Airport and Cork Airport even is super high.
Yeah.
Like, especially for Cork, it was super high. And that's like only in the last month or two.
No, that could be as well that like people are just pissed off at the weather.
Well,
Do you know what I mean? That they're not getting the summer here, and that they're just going.
You shouldn't be coming here for summer weather. Wake up.
I know, but like the summers aren't like they used to be. That's a given.
That's a given, of course. But still, I mean,
like
you don't need the sunshine in Ireland for everything.
Well, you shouldn't be wearing a bloody a fleece.
I know.
During a day in the summer, like
today, this last few days, the first days I can remember since maybe April, where I was able to leave the house in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Because
there was a couple of days before,
yeah,
like in June, that were hot as well. But oh no, June was bad, wasn't it? Was it May?
May was shit. June was shit. July is shit.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of shit.
Shit.
But it's the same last year. Last year was terrible watching in the June and July.
Do you think they're at the clouds?
Yeah, of course they are. They've been at that since the 60s, buddy. Cunts. Of course they are.
Dubai
just let it out of the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Camels like just.
They were talking about it openly on their national fucking news channel, and then people were talking about it. The same people who a year ago would call people crazy for even mentioning the fact that it's. And now it's like. So blasé about it.
5 states in America have
banned it.
And they're blue skies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're having their lovely weather.
Someone was saying that there was shit that came out of the sky, and they took it off the car, off the windscreen, and they put it in a test tube, and independently had it examined, and it was all kinds of shit on it.
That's metals in it.
Metals and plastics.
Yeah.
Micro.
Something bromide.
It wasn't good, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. I mean, look, there's a whole host of fucking villains you can.
That's just another angle that we're being attacked from.
But I mean, if they're all in concert, we're fucked. I was just thinking you'd a bunch of fucking villains, okay, acting independently of each other.
No.
But if they're all in concert,
of course they are.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
Unless Superman shows up, Batman won't even help us now, like.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, what kind of timeline are you looking at for all of this to be?
Well, there's an Agenda 2030, so there's so much that has to be implemented.
But isn't that just a significant moving along the plan kind of thing?
Yeah.
It's not the end of the. It's
not the end game. But like,
when is the end game scheduled?
I don't know. Is it 2050? There's an Agenda 2050 as well, which is 26 years down the line. Like, we'll be.
But if they say that they didn't anticipate the whole Trump thing happening initially, like him actually winning and being the president of America, if that's true,
well, they reckon that we should have.
There might be other anomalies.
They're 4 years late of implementing their plans, because they were supposed to go in when Clinton was there. When Clinton got elected, this was all planned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's a bad egg.
She's a bad joke.
There's a lot of fucking lot of crazy around those people, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they're not geniuses. So what the fuck? That's where I fall down. I was like, but they're not geniuses. They're not even fucking super intelligent.
They have the power.
They're corrupt as fuck, no doubt about that. But there's a lot of corruption everywhere.
But yeah, it's end goal. They have their end goal. They know they want their one world government. Massive.
These fucks
population.
won't even be alive when half this shit kicks off. If it kicks off.
Yes, but they weren't alive. The guys
when it started, yeah.
Like Rockefeller was involved in it. Like Mayor Amstel, the Rothschilds. That's where like it started all the 1600s, 1700s, whatever.
Man, people are stupid, aren't they?
Yeah,
aren't we? I should say.
Yeah, but Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, and they have their guys in
Because
power.
the way I see this, how can this be such a well-oiled machine, kicking out these fucking dates and hitting these objectives over such a span of history? How can a people-orientated thing be so progressive and accurate and effective?
Because it's all planned.
But it's people.
It doesn't matter. It's planned.
They're not that fucking clever.
They are.
I'm going for a piss. Hang on. Hold that thought. I'm taking something cherry.
Something cheery.
Well, it's, it is, like I said earlier on, it's very easy to fucking get lost in this fucking quicksand of information that we're not like.
You can lose your way.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not blasé about anything really. Am I?
Well, I think
Well,
when you have your kids and your family, that's a lovely focus. Like it's to
work for.
Yeah, it has to be.
Of course.
And like you're going away on holidays, it's nice to have plans.
Yes, very.
While we're allowed, while we have freedom of movement. It's like I'm already thinking I'm going to take maybe 5 or 6 days and hit for sun in November.
Cool.
Do you know, like just you work hard all year, like the body needs a break as well as the mind.
Well, it needs something fucking. You need that jolt of like excitement.
Yeah, but like what I did there with the kids going up the Shannon, that was work. It was like
I fucking bet it was.
Like I came off that boat.
You need staff when you're doing these things, man.
I came off that boat on a Tuesday, handed back the boat at 10 o'clock in the morning and down the road, and I had Wednesday off, and Thursday morning at 7:30 I was flying out to London for my sister's 50th.
Awesome. Get smashed.
It was like 3 days of drinking. I said, fuck that. I could have came home on a Saturday. I was burnt to a crisp. I was just fucking. I had enough.
But that's good.
And then got home late Sunday. Probably flew into Cork 6:30, 7:30 Sunday, and up for work then again Monday morning. I was like a fucking zombie.
See, where you fucked up there was the Monday part.
Yeah, but
you should have taken the Monday, man.
No,
I'm very this way. If I'm like, no, I'll work when I'm sick and everything.
I never take days off.
Because I'm usually by myself anyway, so it's not a biggie.
Yeah.
And if I'm sick and I'm working and I'm all right, production levels mightn't be what they should be, but they're better than nothing.
Always.
And if I can deal with it, anyone else can fucking deal with it. And if they can't, shame on them. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? But it's like I could just have a thought, a turn of thought, or something might go off as I'm getting ready to go to work, and I mightn't be sick. I might be perfectly fine. But if I get a notion,
and just say fuck it, is it?
Yeah, I will say fuck it, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm not going in today.
Yeah, fucking rebel.
I'm going into the fucking studio and I'm going to stare at the walls for a while, and I might do a painting. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen that much these days, but when it happens, I fucking embrace it. I enjoy it.
I would see that as like
I don't see it as being a rebel. I see it as just being a fucking.
Well, you're what you call it? You're the master of your own destiny.
Fucking well,
you decided to take it off.
Yeah, I mean you're.
There's consequences.
You're well aware of them, and you laugh in the face for them. Fuck them.
Work twice as hard the following day.
No, not even that. I might take that day too. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But I just get. That's how I've always been. I just get a notion, and I don't know where it came from. Maybe I've been thinking about it for a while. It just finally said, "Hey, okay, take the day." Might be perfectly fine. Won't be a Friday, like, but it could easily be a fucking Wednesday or a Thursday.
You never miss a Friday. Do you ever notice that?
I've missed Fridays.
I've lads that work for me now, and just like you'd never see anybody missing a Friday. It's always a Monday.
I remember I was working in a factory for a summer. I was doing summer work, and for whatever reason, lad, in halfway through the day. Now these people are fucking crazy because they get into this environment and they think like, you know, this is their world. This is forever for some people.
Are they institutionalized, James? Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Oh yeah. And I'm there like, you know, your man's coming over and I hear what he's saying, but he's so animated about it. Mm-hmm. There seems to be a disconnect in my brain when I'm looking at this, and I'm like, fuck you. And he's going, oh, what, we gotta do this, and the boss says, let's tell the boss to fuck off, okay? I'm on a break. I'm outside having a cigarette or something. This fucker's coming out and eyeing me.
Has he a suit?
He had a shirt and tie, but anyway,
Had you a suit?
The fuck. And he came out to me maybe 2 or 3 times in like 5 minutes. And he had to go upstairs and shit and cross the floor he did all this very quickly. I didn't think he could move this fast. Mm-hmm. So he's fucking going on and I've lost the whole train of thought I was having for myself. I'm enjoying looking at the trees, having a cigarette, just and this fucker yada yada yada. This was around, I think it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I went back in to get my coat.
To go?
Yeah.
That was it?
He said, you can't go. I said, I gotta go home. And he goes, what for? Because, is there an emergency? Because kind of, I have an idea for painting. Or was it a song? It was one or the other. And he's like, his fucking head is gonna blow up. And he's getting redder and redder. And I'm like, you can't be serious.
You're not conforming. You're non-conformist.
See you later. And it was a fucking long walk home, but I enjoyed every step.
That was it. You sacked yourself.
Yeah, I didn't go back.
Yeah.
He rang me for like 2 weeks straight.
What the fuck?
Every day. He softened. Then he was like mollycollying me kind of on the phone. And I'm like... Because I got up to loads of shit in that time. With various people. And I was having a very interesting fucking things I wanted to follow. And I was like... He's going on about this boss man again. I like, tell him I quit. He goes, you can't do that. I can't do that. What the fuck? Of course I can. I just did. I said, no. Look, I'll tell him that you're not well and you'll be back in on Monday. I said, you tell him whatever the fuck you want to tell him. Good luck. And that was the end of that.
See, you're destined to be what you are.
Fuck that.
Artist, musician, stonemason. But
it's like, that's why I love the stonework. I'm in all kinds of weather, in all kinds of landscapes. And it's like a gypsy life nearly of the romanticized version of a gypsy life nearly.
We're all always in transit.
You know what I mean?
We're transient jobs.
Yeah, and it's very, there's a great, but even in this job that I love doing, and I do love doing, because it's more than the job itself. It's what it embodies, what branches off of it for you. And it's like, I don't feel like going in today. I just, fuck this. I'm not doing it.
I think where we're working at the minute, there's a few of those guys is driving the owner crazy.
There's a few of those days in that place. You need a fucking plan. You need to have a beginning, a middle, and a fucking end.
Yeah, but if you guys working for you, you wouldn't be able to do that unless you just did it and had delegated it just with it.
I'll never have guys working for me because I've tried it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I've tried it, but the fuck, I'd be in jail. I just because then I'd be like, because it's not like I'm trying to make a dime on them.
Uh-huh.
They'll get what I get. End of. They'll get the same for what they do that I will get. I won't take anything from them.
Yeah.
That was my.
Well, that was.
That's because otherwise it's a form of slavery of a sort in my head.
Okay, right.
So I'm not having that.
Don't torture yourself, anyways.
Fuck that. So I mean, and they have to put up with their shit. Mm-hmm. Their half efforts. They're fucking crazy. No.
It's great fun.
It's not.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the work then at the end of the day. I'm like,
could have been better.
It could have been more. a lot more. Because, I've spent more time fucking checking them and fucking answering questions. I'm all good for a chat. Because in my head, okay, we're having a chat. It's probably going to go on for an hour, this chat. But in my head, it's like, that's easy. I can make that up. No problem.
Mm.
But this fucking, the physical language that they use of like moping through the fucking job.
Yeah.
That irks me, no man. I'm
Kevin and Perry.
We're all here, dude. You know, we all want to be somewhere else, but we're here now, so let's engage and let's get it done. The objective today is, even when I'm by myself and I'm getting a bit fucking, where's my phone? I'm going, what are you doing? This is not fucking putting stone where it needs to be.
No.
So I have a chat with myself and I'm like, what's your objective today? And I'm looking then out, as I poured out a cup of tea, I'm looking out the window.
Just realign.
And I'm like, right, my objective today is get it to there. And I'm fucking, it's like a switch.
Well, like I think 2 meters would be your...
2 meters is a good quality 2 meters. Is a good day.
It's a good day.
But fuck it, some days you get into this rhythm, man, and you can get 2.5 to 3 meters. And that's cool.
But that makes up for the days that are kind of not as productive.
But you won't go below the 2 meters. You kind of say, alright, that's my thing.
That's your benchmark.
You get a fucking meter. There'll be days there, you get a meter by 11 o'clock. No, and it's a good meter. It's not just fucking, it's a tidy fucking job. And I like looking at it. I take photos of it. And when I get home and I have that...
but the trick is to replicate that meter everywhere.
No. The quality of it, perhaps.
Yes.
But the stone is different everywhere.
Yes.
It's like...
Well, but your slate, but that's
going to be fun. That's going to be fun as fuck.
But there's a kind of a randomness to the pattern. There is a kind of a...
It's crazy. I was explaining this to a nephew of mine
Go up
once,
to Doolin.
and they were like,
Doolin.
Crazy.
Up around there. And back around the Skelligs.
All I remember is when I was going up to Wolf, or Dogs Bay.
Dogs Bay in Connemara.
Yeah, and we were going
Roundstone.
up through Galway, and
yeah,
I wasn't driving because I'm not allowed to drive a car.
All right.
But so I was shotgun. So I was looking out the window, and some of the stonework I saw was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There's stone there bigger than the fucking table. They definitely used the machine to place these things. Dude, they're fucking boulders, like.
Maybe the stone was there and they just built around it.
No. This was man-made. Clear as fucking day. And I'm thinking, only in Galway will you see this shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Fuck, we do things proper up there.
But there's some of my brother's girlfriend at the time, she was living in this housing estate. It's like they were peppered everywhere. And
in Galway?
Yeah. It's just outside Galway. What was the name of the place?
Ormore?
No.
Barna?
No.
Which side? Was it the far side of Galway City? Connemara side?
I don't know.
Right. That's tragic.
It is tragic. Dude, the amount of shit I've forgotten in my life. Because I get flashbacks now and then of like, oh, I was smart once. Not anymore, buddy. We waved the flag, we surrendered, and it's all over. Riddled with fucking amnesia. But there was some... What's the name of the fucking place? What other places do you know? It's like a village just off the city kind of grounds, we'll say. Oh, man, it's...
Is it Furbo?
No.
Castlegar?
Nope.
Clare Galway?
No. Is this something with an F?
Furbo.
Another F? It's not Glenroe, but it had that same ring about it. Not as in my memory.
How far from Galway City?
Oh, it's like 10 minutes. You drive. There's a lake there. There's a lake nearby.
Moycullen.
But that could be the lake. It's a really depressing place where this lake is.
Is it Loch Harv?
Yes. That loch. It's about 5 minutes from there.
Menlo.
No. Damn it, I can't believe I don't remember the name of the... But anyway, there's a bunch of housing estates there. They're kind of like... they're small enough, kind of, I suppose. Everyone owns the fucking house in this estate.
Right.
And there's a big fucking arched entrance and 2 gates and the stone. And all I thought was, this is so shit. This stonework. It's fucking shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably stone con.
I don't know what it is. It's shit.
Yeah.
But then you see all these... There's a lot of... Like, where were we going recently? I think on the way up to Derry. From the motor. I don't know where the fuck in the world we were. But on the way up to Derry... It was somewhere near Galway. Maybe after Galway. But I see these stone walls, man. And they were fucking class.
Yeah, we grew up with them.
You know, it was definitely a farmer's patch, but they were so.
How do they stand on each other?
Unbelievable. There were some there, and it looked like it was just a stone, not two fucking. You know what I mean? Just one stone wall.
Well, around for Frankfurt, no, it's all stone walls.
Well, I just.
And the whole thing is, say you had two farmers side by side, separating two farms.
Yeah.
One farmer will mind one side of the wall, or maybe one half, and the other farmer will mind the other half. So if stones will fall, he'll walk around his land, and he'll put back up a stone. Like if a cow is scratching her throat, which they always do on a stone wall, but they might knock a stone. It might fall into the other farmer's land, but that stone will be put back.
No, it's I love that thing about stone.
Well, see, it's all limestone up where we are.
Yeah,
and it's
white limestone, is it?
Well, no, it's blue. It's kind of a dark. It's a grey blue.
Seen, but this farm guy, he is fucking glow in the dark shit, like
just white.
Yeah.
Well, see, the problem is back in the 90s when all the big boom, right? There was like Roscommon. There was a lot of stone brought in from Roscommon limestone, and it was a kind of like a whitey face on it.
Right.
But if you split it, it was kind of giving you a darky blue, but it was kind of a dirty face on it. Not really dark limestone.
Well, you know
you had different quarries.
You know the stone wall for the New Aldi in Mitchelstown. I did that, and that stone came from Galway.
Okay.
They brought that down from Galway. Big fucking big stone.
Probably Headford.
Very, very hard to dress it.
Yeah.
I mean,
is it brittle enough?
Not really. I was thinking when I saw the colour, this would be great, but it wasn't.
Shy to work with.
It was very difficult to work with. I mean, you to give it the time, like.
Well, when I did up my great grandparents' house.
Yeah.
And it was land commission, so built back in the late 20s, early 30s.
Right.
And we lovely job of it. And for the outside, for the boundary, there was a guy working in Galway City just on the way in. We used to pass by him every day. He's a roundstone man over beside Dogs Bay, and a small man, and he had a hump in his back. So he had some sort of a problem with his spine, but it never affected his work.
Wow, he's a stonemason.
Stonemason.
So he didn't do any push-ups then.
Well, probably one of the best stonemasons I've ever seen.
How dare you?
I know, but he was working in Dublin, and
the big bucks.
Well, he was working in Dublin, and a farmer who had sold land and was building 3 houses for his kids on the way into Galway City.
Mm-hmm.
He was introduced to him, and he asked him to come down to Galway to build. To face the 3 houses and to build boundary walls.
Oh, cool!
So he was there for about 2 years.
Jesus.
Okay, because he went from one house to the next, and he worked with like brown sandstone, and he worked with limestone.
I love mixing shit like that.
Oh,
it's fucking awesome.
So we were passing in and out every day, and like we were kind of starting building our house, or kind of doing the house up. So we just got chatting to him, and asked him to come out and do our boundary wall. And he just kind of said, well, what do you want? And we just said to him, look, at something nice. So he said, I have an idea. I've done one wall like this before, he said. And he said, I'd like to see it, if the budget is right for you, I'd like to try it here. And so I said, yeah, just go ahead and just see what it looks like. So he started off a sloped plinth on the bottom. The first stone was a big stone. It was about a foot to 18 inches of an angled plinth.
Okay.
Vertical then, all limestone. And what he did was, when he got to up near the top, he put corbels every 18 inches all along the wall. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then built out onto the corbel. So he stepped it out about 4 inches, and then went up another
Well, like a soldier course or something.
Kind of like a soldier course, and then topped it off with the scanner.
Oh.
Yeah, the scanner. It was about 24 inches, and then 18 inches on top, and piers as well. And I swear, like there's only another wall in the country. I have a picture. I'm going to send you a picture of it. It's fantastic.
I was doing a job for a builder. Some other stonemasons put him on to me. They dealt with him. They called him. They had a nickname from. It was funny. I'll tell you about it later. But I was doing this fucking big red stone, and it was a big entrance. I remember when I actually doing that job. I was working a stone, and when I stood up, I was in a snow blizzard.
Okay.
I was just oblivious to it, and I was fucking trying to trim the stone. It was that kind of thing.
You were immersed in it.
But when I had 4 piers and there was a lot of stone there, like. But he comes along and he goes, when you get to the top of the pier? I goes, yeah. He goes, is there any way we can step it in and do a little thing there, one stone, and then we'll step it in again, and we'll do another one there. And I goes, I'm not doing that.
How did you?
I said, fuck off. I said, that's stupid. These piers looked... The only way...
Well, he had a vision of what he wanted.
This is the builder now.
Oh,
He's trying to push this fucking design... I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. But I was looking at... See, I was looking at the way...
Aesthetics. How
I finished the job. This is when the job was practically finished.
Yeah.
And the piers had there's a fucking magnificence about them because they're over your head. And when you look up at them and the shape and the clouds and all of this, it looked fucking awesome. And this fucking guy wants to put this hat on it.
Jester's hat.
And I just thought, no. It's got majesty now. And you put this bullshit on it. I'm not doing it. Because you have to do it. That's what you want. Because I'm finished. The job is finished. Now you're coming up with this cookie fucking idea of this fucking steps, this Mayan fucking thing on the top. No. You ruin it. It looks stupid. And
who won?
Well, I finished. I got paid for what I did and I fucked off. But someone else, I think they tried it themselves. Him and his son, I think, tried to do it later on. They put these things are... That was shit. Yeah. I still think it's shit. Either just a flat top or fucking nothing.
Simple as...
But it ruined it, man. It fucking ruined it. It belittled it or something, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just... yucky. I'll tell a person straight when I'm there and they'll give me their idea. Now they're all in love with their idea because it's their idea and they're paying for it. So I'll be like, okay. And then they'll say, we're thinking this kind of stone, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, I like it. It makes sense. But then you arrive on to start the job months later perhaps and they've got a different stone. Now when I say they've got a different stone, they've got a different fucking stone. And this stone has its own character. Mm-hmm. It's not going to wear this character. And they're thinking, I don't know, maybe they'll take out the saw and cut every fucking thing.
Fuck that.
Which is not going to happen.
No.
So I'm like, you gotta be straight with them, like.
Yeah.
Look, you got all this stone. And for some reason you want to go away and buy this different stone. The stone you have is fine. It could be field stone. Mm-hmm. But they don't see that it has, because it didn't come in a bag. But I'm trying to explain to them, you've some lovely golden yellowy fucking sandstone, you've some lovely redstone, and there's bits of limestone. And I said, you have it in abundance on the property. Fucking use that. Mm-hmm. That'll save you money straight away, but not only will it save you money, it'll give you a very unique wall.
And that's you want something.
I love blending different stone, man. It's especially when you're doing dry. Fuck.
Because you travel the country and it's just like it's monotone. Everything is just the same old shit.
That's why I fucking love a break away from the scanner.
Yeah.
The scanner, everyone's gone crazy, and they want it like. For me,
the scanner is just hearts and what's called it's. Do you build with the scanner stone?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, a fucking whole house faces with the scanner stone.
In what way? In like as like proper stones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real fucking.
So it's a limestone. It's a limestone.
It's a hard bastard. Well, you can get the there's two different names.
Because there's different veins in it. There's different.
Yeah. You can get the soft one and you can get the hard one. The hard one is the darker of the two.
Okay.
And
it's a bastard to face, is it?
It's a bastard to work because for me, I try to impose my vision on the stone, which is the number one mistake. You should never do this. After dressing the first 3 stones, you should be convinced completely of how you should work this stone.
Yeah.
You just listen to the stone. Feel your way with the stone. Don't try to impose your fucking brilliant idea on the stone. It'll break your hammers and then it'll break your heart. And this has happened a number of times. So when it comes to the darkless scanner, I'm like, oh, you cunt. I hate you. But I'll build it in the way I'll just do as I'm told by the stone.
Yeah.
Whereas if the customer says, could you do it this way? You're like, no. Because you know what, if you want to do it the way they want you to do it, out comes the console again. And I try to use the console minimal.
Yeah.
I prefer the hammer and chisel.
That's it.
Or just the hammer.
Or use the stone.
And yeah, just see it.
Yeah.
And fucking, when I'm using the hammer, I'm just trying to fucking, not square the fuck out of it like a brick, but just give it a thereabouts. So the character of the stone is still coming through at the end of it. And when it's all together, I swear to God, if you look, we'll say at a gable, you do a gable in the stone, no matter what the stone is, if it's just the one person who's done the whole thing, you can nearly see a pattern. And the pattern takes on, it's like it's vibrating. There's this subtle physical vibration of the whole fucking structure.
It's all together.
And it's nearly like there's music to it. You know, you can get trippy. It's really cool. But when you've people in, you gotta be firm. You gotta, look, you called me, okay? I'm working with all kinds of stone all the time. I'm not gonna do a shit job. I want to do a job that I'm proud of, and if I'm proud of the job, you're gonna love the job.
Mm-hmm.
So just
trust.
Your idea is shit, okay? Yeah. But this is what it could be. It could be so much more if you just use X, Y, and Z. I think when you start mixing like any Lascana, any limestone, some fieldstone, lovely red fucking fieldstone, and some fucking sandstone, man, you get a beautiful. It's like a
flower bouquet.
A quilt.
Well, yeah.
You know those old quilt things?
Yeah.
A patchwork.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks fucking so unique, man.
Yeah.
And there's lovely, because the primary colours are always there. If you get the sandstone, the limestone, and the fieldstone, the redstone, or some people might call it riverstone. I did one where it was just all round stones, and it was fucking awesome.
It's class.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah.
But it's it's like sometimes people just, I don't know, they get notions or someone.
Well, they're on Instagram and they're on what's called. They're looking at all these pictures and you know, it's
because when I'm going in to do a job for whatever reason, I'm thinking, let's give them the best job with the best economic plan, if you will. Not to belittle them or let them think, oh, what do you think I can't afford it? No. You should have the best of it, but you shouldn't have to fucking pay forever for it either. Well, fair price is a fair price.
A fair price, but you're not going to do it for nothing.
Of course you're not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, if I'm telling you the fucking stone popping up out of your field will give you a super job, trust me.
Yeah.
Just get your fucking tractor.
How much is a load of stone now? Dude, a grand, is it?
They're expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of them are getting them in the bags now.
Manor stone and like...
Yeah, Manor Stone and the crowd down in Cork.
I
forget the name. Shit. Well, I just don't care to fucking remember the names of half the things I should remember. That's why I write them in a book. So some people will come to me and they'll be asking me, like, you know, I mean, you have Google. Like, just Google.
Yeah, well, look at everything should be local. Like, to keep the stone local. Like, what's in your area. I
love that idea, but at the same time, what if I want to mix a bit of the scanner into it? And you know what's really cool when you're using just limestone? If you find an old fucked up red brick here and there and you sneak it into the job, man, you know what it's like? It's like, you know, when you see someone wearing a dark suit, but they've got that little thing here, the pocket tissue, and it's like a real red. Right. And it does something. It works so well. For me, when I sneak the brick in, That's what it does. It just pops the whole... It puts a whole different perspective on it.
Yeah, very true.
I was building these stone steps for a guy. He had I suppose it used to be a farmyard. And they got a lot of... There's the big house here. He's got loads of outhouses. And he had an outhouse over here. And there's a door with no steps. And he wanted to use the door again. So he needed steps. So... No blocks or fuck all here now. This is stone everything is stone.
Right.
And he had all these he's loads of limestone and there's moss on it and shit. Loads of the red stuff is there and there's some red brick thrown in for good measure. And I had free fucking rain. The only concern I had was, right, get the steps to fucking match. You know what I mean? So I got the door to the wall. I got that measurement and I got the height of the door off the ground. And I sent it to my brother. I said, you're a carpenter, figure that shit out. What kind of
Give
measurement?
me the string.
What's my step?
Yeah.
And he told me the step and I made a little template out of a cardboard thing and it looks fucking Superman. And I had I put a video up on YouTube on the Craft Stonework channel and someone made a comment. I was wondering at the start of the video, it blended in so well to the building that you couldn't see it until I turned. Exactly. And then the shadows popped in a little bit and you saw the steps and shit. They're like, wow, that's some trick. But it does look, and it's getting weathered now. Because I'll go back, because like I said, he's got a lot of outhouses and shit. Yeah. He's always looking to get something mended or whatever. And
did you use lime there, or was it sand and cement?
Sand and cement.
Yeah.
But it looked so good, man. The joints are fucking tight. They're very tight. I was nearly, for whatever reason, I was thinking to do it dry. But I was like, no fucking way. I'm doing that dry. There was one thing there, it was like, the length of this room, and it's probably 2 feet squared. There's no lift in the bastard. My initial thought is to have that would nearly have made the whole distance, but it would have interfered, I think, with the first 3 steps. There's no way unless, and it would just be, I wanted it, because there's a straight line here, corner, and I wanted it to be the first stone in the corner, but it would have, for whatever reason, and I didn't want to fucking deface it, because it either worked or it didn't work. There's no fucking chopping it or fuck all. Because I had all these little...
Did you get lucky?
I didn't.
No.
It had all these grooves and shit in it, and it looked so good, man. But now it's... When I go... I was only back there recently looking at something for him, and it's weathered. It's nearly... it's like you varnished the fucking thing.
It's blended back in.
It's beautiful. It's one of those things that you're very proud of.
I love stone.
I have... At the video, I think I have... It starts with maybe a slideshow of photos, and then there's a few in between bits of video, and I just stitched it all together and threw it up there, and it looks savage. I'd like more jobs like that instead of fucking Liscano in front of a house. Did a Liscano in front of a house at the start of this year, and I was in the van looking at it more than I was, because the rain was just torrential, like.
Yeah, shocking.
And it went on and fucking on and on and on. But there was some fuck up with the... they bought these big limestone
sills. Heads.
For the window. He had 2 big windows in the... It's like a 2-story porch. And they were too fucking wide. There was some miscalculation somewhere. So, and on top of that, then they had this steel where... you're going to have to cut this in half. And it was about 2 meters long. And I was saying, look, you can cut it in half if you want, but it could crack. And I just wouldn't be standing over it, like. So they were like, he didn't want to give him, he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what could work? If we just continue with the Liscano over the steel, and when we get level to the top of the steel, we'll put the bad boys on it, full intact. They're just about wide enough where they'll be flush with the stone, or they might come over maybe 5 mil or something.
But it won't be seen.
A noticeable shadow will be there, but that'll add to it, like. And he was like, I don't know, that sounds... He was worried about it not looking like the way it should look, like it looks in... And I was thinking, I think it'll look better. Because It's totally not what you'd expect.
Yeah.
But you're not... I just didn't want him to cut the fucking limestone. Because you'd have to ship that. I'm not cutting it. You need a fucking proper saw for this, like. And then you can't guarantee it won't crack.
It'll crack, yeah.
And then it was like, he wants to move in, like. He doesn't need this shit. He wants it done. So, he scoots off back to work. I'm taking a coffee break. I take out my little sketchbook. And I do a quick drawing of the porch. With the stone on it so far. And how it would look with this guy. And I went up the 2 stories. And I took a few photos of it. And I sent it to him. I said, I think that looks savage. I go, fuck it, we'll give it a go. Getting that bastard thing up the scaffold, man. The brother had to get a load-all driver from the site down the road to come up at his tea break or whatever.
You talk about half a ton probably, well, a quarter of a ton.
There was 2 of us there and 3 of us there, and it was... Watch yourself, let's. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, fingers could go.
But I had built in such a way that there was like a step up. So you had room for your fingers on the edges, but we'd a rope in the middle. We'd like 3 ropes on this bad boy, but it got in there, and I think it looks super. And now he even thinks it looks super.
Yeah.
So
it's unique.
You gotta let these things happen. You know what I mean? There's no mistakes. There's only like, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. Dope. Just do it. So I love that freedom, that flow of the job. Even when you're just doing, because people think it's monotonous, but it's not. Everything is so uniquely different. Every stone you pick up is so different. You tap
There's no such thing as the perfect stone.
Not at all. And I thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
But you get days where you're saying, not today. I went into my studio now. And then she, the grass needs cutting. Get a goat. Because I'm not doing that either today. Today is just going to be selfish today.
Yeah.
And then, you find yourself regretting it maybe 2 weeks later on the job, but then you realise what a good day you had. So you have a giggle to yourself.
I would regret it. I would say, that's a day gone.
I wouldn't say that ever. Even if I just slept on the couch for the day and watched fucking bubblegum bullshit on the TV, it's still a good day.
Yeah.
Because, there's loads of things unseen happening around you all the time. And you just be aware of that. You're here for a reason. This happened for a reason. You admit it. You accepted the fact that today is not the fucking day to go do that shit today. Not today. Today you gotta put on a different hat.
Well, I don't have many. I very, very rarely do that now. I don't know. I have my plan, and
This year, no, I would have been. Did I do much this year so far? I didn't actually, because this year has been kind of flying along. I felt like it maybe once, but no, it's not like I'll finish on Friday now, and that'll be it for about 2.5 weeks.
Dave will miss you.
I don't think so. Dave's happy. He's on holidays.
No. Well, when is he back? Is he 2 weeks? Is he going for 2 weeks or?
I think so.
All right.
Is it?
Well, I suppose at the end of next week, that's 2 weeks done.
Yeah, he'll be back, I think, on the 10th or something like that. I might be wrong, but somewhere thereabouts. And I don't know when I'm back.
And will you be coming back to Michael's?
At some stage, yeah.
Yeah, because you have to do the inside yet, isn't it? Outside is finished, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. It is finished.
Yeah.
Finished.
Oh, you have the arch to do.
The brickwork, yeah, but needs to locate the right brick for that.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. That'll look nice when it's finished.
It will. I think a nice little kind of a pale. Well, what will he go? Will he go kind of a creamy pale brick?
Oh fuck no.
No.
No, he'd go for.
Will he go red?
Yeah, orangey red kind of.
Right.
I'd
have to bring out sandstone or
try to get a second hand fucked up looking.
Oh
brick.
yeah, reclaimed yards.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that'd be super.
Yeah.
And lime. It'll look really good. Like I was saying, when it comes to the fucking brick and the limestone, especially that white limestone that's in that building.
Yeah, it's very white, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'd say that's from Mallow somewhere. Mallow's very white limestone. I was told I was doing it now with the same guy. I don't know, but he had he has basically a quarry on his property.
Mm.
I was working on his house, and there was an old quarry across. You go out the gate, cross into the field there, we'll say. Maybe 2 fields over, there's an old shut quarry.
Mm.
But they've the same stone, because it's the area.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there's the stone from that quarry across the road that went into the fucking cathedral and cove.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stone.
A lot.
Fuck.
That's why it's closed. But then, I mean, there's a lot of castles, apparently, that were just destroyed in that area.
And they used that stone as well,
And they
is
were
it?
fucked into a hole in the ground.
Jeez.
But, I mean, because he'd be getting all kinds of machinery to dig out the stone. I mean, it's literally coming out of the ground.
So it's in
onto
amongst the
wall.
clay and like it's just buried.
Yeah. And it's wet for days and days. But there's some fucking wind going through that property he has. Jesus Christ.
In Michael's, is it?
No, in the Sutherland out Malloway.
Okay.
But again, it's a weird kind. I suppose it's the depth differences and the pressure that's on certain stones. It's the same stone, but you could be beating it all day and you break your hammer, and then you can dress the other one like glass.
Yeah, it just could get soft.
Yeah, and it's the in between, and there's a lot of big stone. I've one video, you should check it out on my craft stonework page. It looks good. It's like where I left it the last time I was there, because this is the kind of job you keep coming back to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not even close to being finished, inside and outside. But it's like
These are the outhouses.
no, this is a man in Mallow. He's an architect. He designed this fucking thing. It's fucking super big, like.
Right.
And he wanted there'd be a lot of glass in it. Yeah. So, but there was a whole bunch of fuck ups with logistics for getting the glass, basically, that he wanted. Other companies kind of dropped the ball on a few things, and it turns out they couldn't do it.
So it's kind of curves or.
It's fucking massive. It's just the panels are so big, and he wants to be able to open them like a door as well, like a sliding door. So you have to consider tracks and shit. And then he's like, "Can you come back and finish off the stone?" So then he'll put in the glass, and I'm like, "That makes no fucking sense." I said,
The glass has to be in.
"Put the glass in first, because these are like expensive." Because you're not the only fucking job I've done where there's expensive glass. You know what I mean? What the fuck? So he's like, well, if you could come back and do that before the glass comes in. I goes, okay, when is the glass going in? Oh, next week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to start from the ground, right? And it just, you want, if you had a team of fucking stonemasons, you wouldn't get it done in that time frame. So it's like, okay. I'll see you next year. But some people you meet are so crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And I enjoy the energy crazy. And I enjoy... Sometimes you hear an idea that you just would never fucking come up with. You won't find it on... What is it? Pinterest? You won't find it anywhere there. It's just... Some people have the craziest fucking ideas. And they're cool. But it's like... Where did this come from?
Well, they all kind of want their own little bit of different.
They're very different. But I mean, you can get the run-of-the-mill thing and make it different very easily. You don't have to be doing these fucking epic fucking things, you know what I mean?
Blackbirds. I was just going to say it.
They're of course, like.
Yeah, it had to be. Or have to be.
But, so how much longer have you owned Michael's?
I'd say I have another 3 weeks. Like, I'm sticking the cork today upstairs. But I have to do the reveals. I'm building out the reveals. I want to get all the reveals the same angle.
So how much space has been lost by doing all of this in the room itself?
Well, I've scratched it 4 times. I've built it out. I'd say I've built it out with lime in places probably 4 to 6 inches.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Whatever bags he had, I'd say he had probably, was there 100 and something bags there at the start? And I've ordered another 100 and I'm still 20 short.
Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, he should have just...
And do you do lime all the time? Do you work lime all the time, or?
No, I do bits of it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's awesome. It's magical stuff.
I'm going over to Scotland in September.
Why?
There's the Scottish Lime Company. I'm going to do there's a 2-day course over there now for lime.
That sounds expensive.
Yeah, it's 500. It's 500 euros.
Does that include your accommodation?
No. Yeah, it's.
Did you ever hear of a thing
brilliant
called the internet?
Yeah, but look at
that's a university if you use it right.
It is, but look at this it's recognised the world over. It's the.
So you want the paperwork as well?
Well, no, I love to learn.
Well, that's what I mean with the internet. It's
but
amazing.
The internet is very haphazard. Like you're learning by your failures, and we all learn by our failures. Anyway,
yeah, but there's actually people who probably are doing this course putting shit on YouTube.
YouTube there's a lot of kind of guys doing up a room.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
There's
but
little.
I've never done this before, but I read a book.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, but like that's no
follow
good.
Me.
That's no good to me. No, but like it's learn. It's look. I keep saying it. It's every house should be done with lime. Everything
in Ireland, anyway.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, and it should be done with stone and lime.
Yeah.
That's it, and let it breathe.
Yes. No, I love lime. I mean, I would have done very little work with lime. If at all, actually. I think the last time I used lime was when I was working with Dave again, another job we were doing like way back when. I was doing the face of the house.
With lime, you just have to. I say I used to skim houses by myself. Like I'd go upstairs, I would mix, and I'd be out of a 3-bedroom house in say 6 days. That's just me mixing, skimming myself, and I'd be. You'd be working from probably 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night.
See, that's not really all I want.
No, but that was when I came down to Cork, because I have my family, I have my kids to look after and all that. So for me to go into lime, right?
Yeah.
It's like I've been sitting in a Ferrari going fucking 200 miles an hour, and next thing I have to hop into a Morris Minor.
Yeah.
That's just going to trundle along the road nice and slowly.
Hello,
and
Stone.
It's to get your head space. It's to get your head. You have to acclimatise to it.
Oh, 100%.
And you have to be able to go to revisit things time and time again for wetting walls.
Yeah.
And it's totally different. Like sand and cement is just get it on the wall. It's hard. You skim it. You either outside you do your scud, your scratch coat, and you do your top coat. That's it. Job finished. Whereas lime, if you're working on stone, you're dubbing out. You're getting all your holes filled first. You're kind of bringing everything out. You're filling the holes. Then you're scudding it first, whatever. Then you're dubbing out. Then you're going over it on a scratch coat. You might have to do 2 more scratch coats or whatever. And each time has like the lime has to kind of. It has to dry in its own natural form.
Yeah.
So you have to give every wall like 2, 3, 4 days or 5 days.
Yeah, I found that crazy. When I was there, what was I doing? I think I was just getting joints ready to repoint on the gable, and then this is the first day now Dave started using those fucking sheets of
the Hessian.
The Hessian, right? And it looked like I walked into a movie or something.
Yeah. Or a ghost ship.
It was fucking awesome, but mental to me. I was like, surreal.
Yeah.
But I was expected to see fucking like handmade boats somewhere in the area when I saw all this stuff billowing in the wind, and then he's hosing it down, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Mm-hmm. And he's looking at me like I am stupid, but he's like, you don't know what this is? Because I think I'd seen it in a movie once, but it had nothing to do with nothing. Mm-hmm. And then he was explaining to me the whole reasoning of it, and I thought, that's awesome. Yeah. It's totally awesome. Like
I did a course up in I did about 4 years ago.
Is it me, or is there something very Irish about it?
I think there is.
I got a really strong Irish vibe off it.
Well, there's a beauty to it.
Yes,
and
definitely.
You're going back to the old way.
Yeah.
And you're respecting the materials that you're being given.
And you're not rushing and damn.
You're not rushing.
Yeah.
But like you have to be paid for it. You know what I mean?
Of course you do, yeah.
Because it's all time.
Yeah.
And there's a right way to do it, and there's definitely so many wrong ways.
I even saw that day one, I think. Well, it would have been day two because I could see cracks, and I shouldn't have seen cracks. I saw cracks because there was no, it wasn't wet down at the end of the day or something. And I thought, fuck.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and it'll crack like a fucker.
Yeah.
If water is your enemy, but water is your friend.
It's a fucking dicey one, isn't it?
Yeah. And you have to have your sand, your mortar has, like, it can't be too fine.
Yeah.
Or it can't be too, like.
Oh, Dave emphasised that.
But it's so true.
With the bucket.
Yeah. Like, every time, like, when I it's awful hard to teach a young lad, like, that, like, say, that's your bucket.
Yeah.
And you have to keep the sand there.
Yeah.
And every bucket has to be the same. And then you've put lime in that bucket as well, and the lime has to come to the same. Like, so everything has to be the same. So you're working like 1 is to 1.5, or 1 is to 2. That's what you're kind of. 1
is to 2, I think, is what we were doing.
Yeah. So our scud coat is always 1 is to 1.5. So for plastering, you start with the stronger coat on the inside, and you always lessen it on the way out.
Right. So
your scud coat will always be the strongest. Your scratch coat will be weaker. And then your finish coat will be weaker again, and that's where the bond is. So you'll never have anything blowing. It'll never leave. It'll never go hollow.
Right.
And that's just the law of plastering. So you always weaken your coat on the way out.
Huh.
So your outside coat is the weakest.
But no, lime for me is fucking magical. But I was like, how do you quantify fucking the payday on this? Because it is very much like you said.
When I threw a line, he wanted to use the cork insulation board on the inside. So your walls have to be plumb, and they have to run through to get, because your cork is going onto your surface, and that surface has to be flat.
Right.
So we got the laser level, and we ran it from.
Let's see, it's some fun in that fucking room.
But see, you see it on the outside because it's two different buildings.
Yeah.
So you had the original house, and you had the extension, which was done in the sandstone, to the left as you're looking at it.
Yeah.
So there are two different
wings.
Yeah. So when I lined them up all the way through, it was like crazy, and it was just going to eat.
We were doing the stonework up there. It was like, that door, it's not going to work. They had this thing here dividing the two rooms, and I was like, even when you just look along the wall, man, it's in and out like a dog's tail.
Well, it's all running through, because I had to set up my screeds.
Yeah.
So that was
that's
the first.
Amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And that's I would edge my, but you have to keep, like, you can only come out in 20mm coats, 20 mil really.
Yeah.
Because that's it. Other than
that, even the way you're boxing the window, I was like, fucking the prep work alone.
Yeah. You're going back to the old way.
Yeah, but
that was it. Like,
it's so fucking.
See, because in plastering, there's all corners to be cut. Like you have your metal bead, you have your angle beads.
Yeah.
You put up your angle bead, and then you work to that. So that's your finishing point. That's your external angle. So if you're sanding cementing, you're keeping it back maybe 3 mil off the nib of your bead, so that when you put 3 mil of skim on it, that's your finish. That's where your wall finishes. That's your finished coat. So you're always working to the corner of your bead. But with lime, you can round your corners. You can do anything really.
Yeah, I like the round corners.
You know, like,
I loved it, especially over a stone wall.
Yeah.
With the bumps.
Yeah.
That come through. I love that.
You can go with the two wings over the flat roof areas. I'm going to just go with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Wasn't it great that it gives you that? It accommodates you going with the flow.
Yeah.
Imagine a block layer going with the flow. I don't see it happening.
Well, a lot of them do. that's the problem.
Especially when they know stonemasons fucking following them.
Oh, jeez.
Day one on a job, you're getting no money for that.
Yeah.
Because the shit work you have to do to tidy up the shit, and then you have to really double check shit. Sometimes you don't have to double check because you see it straight away.
That house, the new part of the house that we're in there, the blocks were shocking. Shocking. Like, I'm talking over, like, say, an 8 foot, like, just up to first floor level.
Yeah.
up to Hollicore, like you could be talking at least an inch of an inch or more of a kind of a bow.
Fuck.
Just shocking. And then we had to scratch all that out.
Oh man.
You're constantly like we had to edge everything. It's just
That would wreck my fucking head.
Yeah, but like our job, you have a lot like. There's a lot of imagination in your job compared to where ours. It's
Imagine you're happy. Okay.
Well,
That's
no, but
it.
you can introduce flair or whatever. Ours is all systems, and it's all you get your background straight and plumb. You get your outlines around your windows all correct.
That looked awesome.
And then you just but that's sand, cement and skim. That's the Ferrari, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're doing that at speed because you're on price work, and then you're going back to the lime work, which is just like tomorrow. Now I'll be there by myself. I've one wall to cork. It's probably about 3/4 the length of that wall, same height. That's all I have to do tomorrow. But then I have to build out reveals.
Right.
So I'll be getting my angles on my reveals. So like the old way, you know. So my reveals aren't going to be at 90 degrees to the wall. They're going to be sloped into the window. So it'll be nice. I've them all formed now. So I've my lats. My lats are on different upstairs now. So they're on the outside.
So you finished the downstairs?
No, downstairs I have to go down to
That's
do the reveals. I have to do the
yeah,
reveals
yeah.
downstairs now first, before I go corking.
Corking.
Putting on the cork.
But
yeah.
it's, I don't know, I liked the whole visual aspect of just, just looking at it.
But it's preparation.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, it's like if you don't.
Nearly every step you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
For me anyway, and then, from the hessian and the way you had the room all set up, prepped.
Yeah.
I was like, this lime is a fucking...
Like I had everything. I had it all downstairs. I had all the lats up around the windows. I had everything squared off, all screeded. Like if you put a 40-foot straight edge, everything was lined up.
Yeah.
It was just running through all the way through. And then the window guys came and they fucked out all my timbers.
Oh dear.
So I had to go back and do the bastards all again. Like it was a day gone.
But that's life on a
It
job
is, yeah.
like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure we had to do some things twice because someone else had to do something which fucked up what we were doing initially. So it's like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing there half the time. I'd go looking for Dave. What the fuck is the objective? He's like, I don't know.
But Dave's good. Like he has a system. Like he knows.
But Dave knows. He's had a lot of good experience.
Yeah.
On big jobs.
Yeah. But it's the same thing
You'll
every
be talking to me about things sometimes, and I'm like, somewhere over the rainbow. That's nice.
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue what he's saying to me. And I just, I have my own little way of getting the information. Then, like, I'll ask him a question, and he'll just give you the dumber version. I'm like, yeah, I get it. But most of the time, you can see it. You know what I mean?
You're a fucking smart cookie. You're playing yourself down, you cute shite.
I don't remember.
No, but the way, like, even just the machine, the shot blast, like, that just totally transformed the house.
Oh, big time, man.
Yeah.
Because there was one section done on the face, on the limestone section of it, it was the last window, just to the corner, and I was in love with the look of it. And I'm like, they should plaster the whole thing, Dave. They say, what? I goes, look, it looks like shit. But this bit over here looks like I'm in love with looking at it.
You had one corner done, is it?
Yeah. That's where I started. We're going to do the whole thing. I was like, awesome.
Like, what was he a week shot blasting, I'd say?
There was a lot of fucking sandblasted there,
Yeah.
man. That's some machine, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That
But
is
do you know
some
what? He
machine.
needs it, because that's, if you can turn out that quality of stone,
Yeah.
like, it's finish.
Mm.
That's awesome.
It is. But there was, because when he finished sandblasting and then he fucking hosed the whole thing,
Yeah.
I was saying just leave it alone. Don't bother pointing
Don't
it.
point it.
It looks so fucking good, man.
Oh, fuck that.
There was
Bit of water
there was
goes through.
one day there, whatever way the light hit it, man, it just looked fucking delicious. Just delicious. I was like, I'll leave it. It just looks But it looks equally delicious now because we were when we finished it up there last week on the old sandstone part, we'll say.
The left hand side, looking at it.
He hosed it down because he was sandblasting the top, the gable, and all the shit came down, and it was just, yeah. But then he hosed it down while we were talking away, and I was taking photographs. It just, the lime looks so good against the red.
Yeah,
the dark red.
It's a contrast. It's a pity. There's a red, there's a blue, and there's a red.
Yeah.
There's a bit of whack in it.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit wacky. It's a pity that it wasn't either one or the other.
Well, there's a lot of sections.
Yes.
Where you can see a fucking stellar stonework done.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of sections where
where windows are blocked up and stuff like that, and
there's a beautiful arch in the wall in the last room, and down under as you're looking at the building on the right. I think there was a stove in there that to make shit up.
Oh yes.
If you go into that room and you go,
is that the one with the high ceiling?
Yeah, you go over to the window at the end of the room and you look back at the big wall.
Yeah,
it's like there's this fucking beautiful arch. Obviously there was a door or something there before and they blocked it up, but the arch is still there and it's kind of going up out of the ceiling or something. But it's so proper job like. And it was done a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then you go outside and you see the fucking I think, is it in the chimney breast? There's fucking red brick going off like.
Shocking.
It's just. it's neither here nor there. It's someone just said, we gotta fill a hole. And that's all it is.
Poaching.
And it was left there. And some people think, like, you know, for me that's. I'd like to fucking address that.
And knock it and build it again or something like that.
Or something like that.
Well, here's one for you. Did you ever come down Summer Hill? Do you know Cork City? Well, just
not that great.
Coming down from St. Luke's down to McCurtain Street.
Oh yeah.
You have the Presbyterian Church. Did I tell you this before?
No, I'm getting nothing.
Right. You have the steeple of the Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
And it's like Noddy's hat.
And
the top. I swear to God.
I'd make note.
It just catches my. Once you've seen it once, that's it.
Yeah,
you're just going. And you're like, the fuck, like, how the fuck, like, did they fuck it up?
Oh, easily, I'd say.
It's easy to fuck things up. Like the what's
How did they walk away from it? That's what I'd like to know. Any pride?
Yeah, but this was like proper artisans. Like, you're talking back 200 years ago, 300 years ago.
But was it though? Because I mean, that's probably the new boy. I'll let him do one.
Well,
he'll get a hang.
The whole steeple just kind of up at the top. It just kind of goes like that, and it's very slight. Like the naked, a lot of people wouldn't see it, but like when you're working,
people wouldn't look.
When you're working with lines.
Yeah.
And that's it. You'll see it straight away. So it's a Presbyterian church at the bottom of the hill, and just look up at the steeple. Now you have to look at it coming down from St. Luke's, coming down from Henchy's.
St. Luke, that's the one that'll bring it down to
McCurtain Street. So it's the Ballyhooly Road.
Yeah. I came down this road loads recently.
No?
In January or February, I think. February.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, ugh. Because there's some mad bitches
fucking
driving at that hour of the morning, man. You want to be awake. Because they zip in and out. I was like...
Well, it's very tight.
Yeah.
So you'll probably end up driving straight through the traffic lights. You'll be like this.
Yeah.
Hit the wall across the road.
Fucking first time. No, but there's a lot of... Even... I only realised or found out the castle that used to be in Mitchelstown. Because we were doing a job in the town itself there about 2 weeks ago. And I was like to Dave, where's all the stonework coming from? All these we were out in the back of one of the main street buildings, we'll say. We're just out the back having a coffee. And I was like, all the fucking stone. And you just know that they've been there forever. And I'm looking around and I'm like, there's a lot of stone walls around Mitchelstown. What's that about? And he's gone on about some castle. Because where's
But
this?
it's landlords as well, though.
But this is
like
one
Kilworth.
He's gone on. So I googled it.
Uh-huh.
My God, you should see the castle that used to be there. That they burnt it down or whatever. This thing was magnificent. I mean, I know there was a lot of British-built stonework just destroyed the day they got them out.
Yeah.
And I think it's forever a mistake.
Absolutely.
Just because they take it, own it, put a fucking Irish flag on it. Because the work, the stone, fucking just beautiful.
It's what it represented. And
but we can change that.
Oh yeah.
Without burning the fucking thing down. Because we haven't been able to build anything as good.
We haven't.
So. I mean, we probably built them in the first place, but under instruction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I have another thing about, like, going back, like, say the Houses of Parliament. You're talking, like, the intricacies of those, like, say, like St. Patrick's Cathedral, like, you know, in Dublin, you know, the Gothic.
Yeah. But that's Gothic full stop. Intricate.
Yeah, but how did they scaffold that time? How did they, like, these are massive stones.
Yeah.
How did they get them there? Like, just trying to kind of question things. That'd be me, sorry. Do you know?
Well, I don't believe a lot of the shit that you're told. Because they tell you, this is how they did it, and you're like, get the fuck.
Like, I don't believe that Moses' buckos put all the stones there in the pyramids. Not a fucking chance. No
The pyramids are interesting, aren't they?
Of course they are. Like 300 ton pieces
but
of blocks.
But the mathematics to them is very fucking... Whoa. You know, there's a whole... I don't know. I like the fact that when I look at them...
Do you know that there's a pyramid in Scotland?
I think there's a pyramid in every country in the world.
Well, there's a big pyramid in Scotland. Well, there's pyramids, obelisks. There was lots of... I don't know if there's one in Ireland. There's definitely one in Scotland. And it's quite substantial.
Sure, haven't we stuff that apparently predates the pyramids?
Again, written.
Yeah. That's sad, though, that you can't enjoy... Because there's some people...
You can't believe the bastards.
You can't.
No.
You really can't.
No.
We are totally confused with amnesia, and we just know there's something's not right.
Well, what we've spoken there for the last half an hour on stone and lime is the truth.
100%, yeah. It is. And it's a beautiful truth.
Yeah.
I love it, and I'd love to see more of it.
Of course. Every house, I would fuck every architect out. Just any of these guys bringing in this heat recovery system.
Oh, fucking crap! Look,
underfloor heating. Fuck it out.
Yeah, 100%.
People, their circulation in their feet is going to get so fucked up. They're going to get so sick.
And all their breathing is going to be fucked up. They're going to be compromised.
They're filling the hospitals. Fill the hospitals for big pharma.
That's the last place you want to be, is a fucking hospital.
Yeah.
Not even visiting.
Oh, Christ above. And like, I could talk to you like, that's another podcast.
Good.
Yeah.
But it's... Look, I got caught up in, I don't know, I had a line of thought, and then again one of those pulses happened, and I happened upon a video of a conversation where someone was echoing my thoughts, I suppose, about why is excellence being attacked in every fucking thing. And I'm like, that's crazy talk. But then you see architecture. It's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. And then you see...
It's mediocrity.
You see fucking the likes of Ronaldo, the soccer player, who's fucking just... I mean, the effort that person puts into their thing. And it's just mind-blowing that you have that strong mind to consistently punish your body to get these fucking accolades that he's won everything like you can win, probably, except the World Cup.
Yeah.
But it's an individual just fucking tearing into it, like, and it's
I
like,
wouldn't be benchmarking against him now.
But that's just another. There's many pages.
Yeah.
He's just one of the pages, and it's like, yeah, I see it clear as day with him, and it is a very.
But see, everything to do, like, say construction, right? There's always a right way and a wrong way, and the old people did it the right way because they had to, because that's it was to keep them alive.
Yeah.
Right, and that it was to keep them warm in the winter. It was to shelter them and everything. So it had to be done the right way. Okay.
So it worked for you.
It worked for you, and they didn't go building on floodplains.
That,
you know what I mean? All this shit.
Well, maybe back to your earlier on your theory about this fucking master plan. Maybe it's look, if we build them on the floodplains, we can tell them that it's not a floodplain. It's the climate.
It's the climate, yeah. So see, it's all. But then, what's in construction now? They've lost. Everything about construction is not about construction.
100%.
So it's about.
There's jobs there that do not need to be there.
Yeah, but it's the angle of money. It's always back to the greenback.
Yeah.
And it's all like anything that's been introduced in the last 30 years. Like you look at Monocouche. You look at these external render systems that they've brought from Europe that are like external insulation.
Yeah.
Monocouche. These one coat plasters that they say that there's a colour in them, and like every apartment block since the late 90s up until they're still at it, putting this coloured render.
They do this in Prague with it's all towers now.
Yeah.
They're nice apartments, like.
Yes, but
they've wrapped the outside of the whole building.
Yeah. But they have the climate for it.
Yeah,
we have a very.
It's like no one's fucking countering in the climate.
No, and but see all these architects or whoever's bringing into these systems, there's backhanders given. It's a new thing.
You can say that about everything, and you wouldn't be wrong.
Yeah, I know, but every architect, like you get an architect on board who is established, he's going to push this product. Because he has
Just like the doctor with the prescription.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And there's so much construction done in this country they'll be repairing it for years to come.
That is a fact.
It's a disaster.
I just no. Give me an old fucked up thing and let me renovate it.
Yeah. Like you see the Georgians in Dublin, and the Georgians mainly, like all the brickwork. You have lads going around and pointing them with sand and cement. There's plasterers
Blame disregard, like.
Yeah, plasterers plastering gables with sand and cement because they're not going to pay for repointing in lime, and all they're doing is like the sand and cement is cracking, the water is getting in behind in the crack. There's waterproofer in the sand and cement, which is going to keep the water inside, and then the water then is just travelling straight.
Like.
Yeah, the water's travelling straight through, and it's rotting all the staircases, all the timber work. Do you know what I mean? There is Dublin's falling apart. Like all the Georgians are falling apart up there, unless you're well able to afford to keep the pointing going and keep the.
But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a case where it's like, do it the right way, or well, I can't afford the right way. That shouldn't be a thing. Like.
Yeah. Like there should be grants. Like
surely they're listed buildings, are they?
But that's it. They're listed, so they can't do like.
But if you're going to fix them up the way they were built.
Yeah.
Not this fucking bullshit that they're
haphazard
doing.
way, yeah.
Yeah. Surely a bit of fun.
Yeah, I've worked on a good few. I've I had to give reports on a good few where in Dublin before where they've just the water is just pissing through. Well, it's not. It's getting in behind the plaster and it's staying there, and it's just the walls are eternally damp and wet.
No, look. This is what I mean. No matter what it is you're looking at, if you're going to look at all, you're going to see things you don't want to see, and then it's just going to affect your fucking brain and your mood.
Yeah.
So it's with stone anyway. It's like natural material.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
If you do
you're
your
fairly limited now on what you can do to fuck it up.
Well, your joints have to be right.
Well, yeah.
And you have to, like, around your
But
windows.
even there you have a freedom, like, you know, as long as you back up your stone and there's consistency in the joints.
Yeah.
You're good to go. You can be very creative.
Your damn courses. Just like, you know, you just have to keep that southwesterly rain and it's the biggest problem in Ireland.
Yeah.
When you get a wind and a southwesterly, that's it.
I don't know. Stone and timber. They're my friends.
Yeah. I
like them. Bit of glass is grand, but stone and timber. We would be, you know, talking with Lucy, we were thinking of like, well, this is what I would do. You're drawing out like a room, a kitchen or whatever. And of course she gets all girly about it. And I'm like, well, I think there should be a nice stone panel sealed the floor here. And she says, for what? Because why not? She goes, no, I don't want that. That's like, I want white everything. I goes, you can have white everywhere else, but the stone has to be there.
Well, it's a contrast. It's lovely.
It is a beautiful thing to have in the house.
Well, we did it as well in the house that we did up. That when we took out, there was no Cleopatra range in it.
Right.
Put in the 60s. So they took out the hearth. Oh, there was a hearth with a crane. The two seats.
Yeah.
So when we started, we took out the Cleopatra. There was a plastered wall, and it was the chimney breast. So they had on the left hand side of the chimney breast was the hot press, right. And there was just a built-in unit. And this is in the sitting room. So this was all done in the 60s. So it was, they brought in hot water and they put central heating in and all this kind of stuff. So when we took out the Cleopatra, we started knocking off the plaster, and as we could see the arch, I never saw it before. So the arch started coming, and I was there, holy fuck, there's an arch here. I was getting excited, and I was there, please be stone, please be stone, please be stone. So it was actually concrete, but they had done the coins in concrete, but it was a concrete arch, and but it was eye level, and on each side then there was two bronze. There was the emblem of Connacht, the eagle with the sword, right. Was on one side, and on the other side then was a shamrock.
Huh.
So they were built in. Now the brass or the brass fittings were gone, but you had the
imprint.
You had the imprint. So we took out everything, and that was what would we do with it. So we brought in the stonemason from outside from doing the wall, and we just said, what do you think here? So he said, leave it with me. So we did the whole thing in limestone, and we narrowed down the opening. So we set the stove into it, used the chimney that was there, and what he did was he went off and he spent a day in the quarry in Headford making the coins.
Oh, cool.
So that was it. He brought the coins back, put them in place, and like there's some of the stones are big on this fireplace, and then he brought out two corbels again, and I went down to the local sawmill and they ran me off a piece of beech.
Oh, nice.
And left the bark on it. So
very nice.
Really nice now. And then up in the top, he did he carved then 1927 onto a stone in the middle of it. He made a lovely job. He'd be like yourself. He would just be really, really good at what he does.
But it's nice when you get guys like that. Well, it's nice when you see them, but talking to them, not so much. There's one or two I know who they specialise in a particular kind of stonework. And
pigeonholed.
Particular type of stone as well. Because they're efficient. They're they can make good money on it.
Yeah, they're meters.
That's it. That's all they're interested in. But it just so happens that what they do is sublime.
Yeah.
But then talking to them, forget about it. Oh, you just want to smack them. Because they have it in their head like, clearly you're not doing what I'm doing the way I'm doing it. Well, I will teach you. I don't want you to teach me shit. Just talking to you, man.
Yeah.
I have my thing. You have your thing. I'm just acknowledging you. You don't. I'm not. Straight away I said, "Oh, I've got to convert you." Fuck that. I mean, I like it, but I'm not gonna lead it. I'm not gonna be it. Do you know what I mean?
Them guys are busting their hole from mornings, like from when they start. And they'll be looking to get 3 or 4 meters done each a day, probably.
Yeah. I'm like, good luck. No, it's like, it's a hard job, physically and mentally. So you should at least have the privilege of doing your vision of it. I think. No one should be roaring at you or fucking trying to instill their fucking way of anything to you. Did you say, well, this is how I do it? Oh, that's interesting, thanks. Good to know. Because you're not going to learn shit from someone talking to you. You're going to learn from watching what they do, how they do it. And if you're interested, you might incorporate it into your own thing.
Well, you're lucky if you get a good teacher. See,
that's where I fall down. I didn't have a teacher.
Yeah. Well, look, if you're self-taught then.
Yeah, well, pretty much.
Yeah, which is great.
It is great. I mean, you know what I was shown? You get the long stone. Okay. Then you get a stone maybe twice as high. Okay. Then you get another long stone.
And that's it.
Like a castle top.
Yeah.
And then just get creative.
That was it.
That was all I was told.
Get your corners right.
Didn't even fucking say anything about corners. Just said use a level. That was it. Just said, like, you know, I liked the way he was very philosophical about it. This guy now was like a fucking leather bag. Smoked like a motherfucker, drank like a tramp, and he could be rough as fuck. But they usually put him on the back wall or whatever, where he just bomb it up. But he'd get moments then when he'd be just fucking in it, and he was like,
he could do it.
Dude, it was just, well, obviously that's what you're meant to be doing. And he'd be just getting like, you know, just, he said, don't be thinking about anything. Just fucking pick up the stone. He said, you know, touch the stone. And just, the stone will tell you what you need to know.
And find a place for it.
So just trust the stone and don't be in a hurry and you'll be fine. He said, you're creative eye in you, you're grand. Off you go.
That was it.
Yeah. That was enough for me, because if you kept going on...
That's a good teacher.
It is, yeah.
Do you know?
But, because I was kind of labouring for 3 stonemasons. He was one of them. And the only reason I was there is because we met one night. I was after sending a load of drawings. I mean, a nice stupid amount of money. And there was no one around, so I said, I'm going celebrating. And I went out on the lash. And I met himself then. He was where turns out he normally is, in the pub.
Second home.
Yeah, because they weren't from here, like, you know. And I think they were from the Lake District.
All right.
Yeah, so he was like Clint Eastwood on a bad day at the end of the bar. And we just got into this pool tournament. I suppose the bar is just trying to kick up some excitement keep everyone in drinking.
Yeah.
And we got to play each other then. And then we got mocking each other, trying to put each other off the shots or whatever. And turned out we had a great laugh. And then we were just talking about shit. And I goes, what do you do? And he goes, stonemason. What's that? And it just kind of said, well, I told him what I was doing. He goes, you need to get out. You need to fucking... He said, you're an artist, so maybe you have an eye for what we do. So why don't you fall in with us next week and just, you know, you can live with us and I'll show you a few things and see what you think. So I did that, and then I was working with him maybe a year. But 6 weeks in, I was thinking, Jesus Christ, I think I can do better. I had no right to think that, but I was just thinking, I definitely think I could do better. So I'd start doing little bits here and there after he gave me that little castle top speech. And I took on a job. We kind of went our separate ways, and I took on a job I had no business taking on. But I did a super job on it. I made no money on it. I mean, I got paid, but I took my time to the point where you didn't make money on it. But, you know, and I kind of just kept that going. I just fucking got lucky. Met a few good stonemasons, and I'd fall in with them for a while, and then you'd be picking up
You're
bits and
constantly
pieces.
learning.
Yeah. So that was it, and here we are. But it's one of those things you feel kind of lucky to have it, that you can do it.
It's a great trade.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But like I said, some days I'm not going to. Fuck that, I'm going to paint. Because sometimes I feel very guilty if I you get moments where you're not going to paint. You're just not going to paint in the course of a year. You just, no. But this year it seems to be a little longer than usual. I'm not going to panic about it because it's not a big deal. I know how it's going to go. It's just
You'll always come back to it.
Yeah, but I want more than that. Everything needs to be kind of moving up at the same time.
Well, do you think is your podcasting eating into your painting time? It's not your work. It's probably your podcasting, is it?
No,
it's
not, because I only do very little podcasting. I mean, maybe once a week. But it's like podcasting is an exciting thing in a sense, like it gets it out of you. You could have ideas or thoughts, and you know, if you hear yourself talking about them, then it triggers a whole line of different thinking, and it branches off into when you're not podcasting or you're just at work and you be it'll revisit your memory, and you think, oh, this is the thing I want to follow. And it's more immediate or something. It's a totally different medium, and it's totally different everything.
It's good chat.
It's curious. There's a whole bunch of curiosities, and it's like, why does this feel like such fun? You know what I mean? And like you're finishing the job, whatever time of the day, and Dave might say, "Well, so what are you up to for evening?" I'm going to do a podcast. Because what are you going to talk about? I haven't a clue.
Well, hold that talk because I have to go for a piss.
What do you mean you don't have a clue? Well,
That's right.
well, good to see you.
Oh,
And look, we'll have that other podcast in the future about that other thing you're talking
we
about.
will, of course.
And many more in the future going forward until you get your own podcast going.